Hey, your light's a little dim.
Is it?
I just noticed.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. We're already going live, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll just greet everyone. Yeah, your light's a little dim. Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart. I am joined by Brandon from About Nintendo. This is a Nintendo podcast we do every week, Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern usually. We're doing a little bit late today, mainly because I had a migraine and it took me... I still have the migraine, for the record. So we may not go that long today because I may die. So I'm not actually going to die, but I have a migraine. I'll live, but, pain. Anyway, we're going to talk about Nintendo, as we always do. The topics are... not many, but still interesting stuff. If you have questions about other things, we'll talk about it. There's been some mention in the news about Fire Emblem DLC. Jaritza may be playable, apparently. Right? Apparently Cats and Dogs will be petable, apparently. Luigi's Mansion 3 is also getting DLC as well. The Switch Lite has released. There's like these little... there's some debate about if there's actually Joy-Con drift or not in them. Like there was a teardown, they look the same, but then someone else noticed that they might be a little different actually. We're not entirely sure. There are some reports, but they're not conclusive. So we may talk about that a little bit, but the actual topics that we have in mind for tonight are just a little bit about Sirfetch'd, the Galarian evolution for Farfetch'd, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Maybe talk a little about Pokemon Sword and Shield and some speculation that may come up from that. Then we'll be getting into our impressions on Link's Awakening. The game has finally come out, and we both have been playing it. I think it's great. Yeah. And then we're going to get into our Smash DLC wish list. We haven't done a wish list since the DLC was announced yet, so this is our wish list, not predictions. So if don't get mad if Brandon says he wants Shrek, okay? Even though it'll never happen. Or will it? Shrek is love.
Totally gonna happen, yeah.
Shrek is life. Exactly, yeah. Very likely. Anyway, just checking with the chat, and I guess we'll get started. Hello there, Griefing Golem. How's it going? Matt to Gaming, what's up? Mastermind, good day to you, sir. Sab64, what's up, man? Yeah, migraines really are the worst. They're killers. So wait, you're saying that you just saw that Super Mario Party was supposed to have DLC, but it was scrapped last minute. Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
It's very interesting, actually.
Well, I mean, I guess that kind of... It goes to show, if that's the case, right, it makes sense that, they probably were thinking about DLC, but maybe they scrapped it so they could just focus on the next Mario Party.
Maybe.
I think that's what makes sense. That's sort of what I've been thinking since they didn't announce any DLC. So, yeah. Matt to Gaming's asking, do you think there will be another Microsoft representative in Smash Ultimate? Good question. I want to say no.
Doubt that.
I want to say no. Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't think so. A lot of people keep bringing up Minecraft Steve. Is it out of the question? No, it's not out of the question, right? But it's just kind of like... The Banjo situation was sort of like a special situation, right? Because of the history of Banjo-Kazooie on Nintendo. And while Microsoft has proven themselves to be an increasingly more valuable third-party partner to Nintendo, they're still at this point only giving us indie games, smaller scale games. I do have hope that there will be bigger stuff in the works, that there are bigger stuff in the works, but that hasn't been proven yet. And on top of that, we actually have people who work with Mojang who have gone out publicly saying that they wouldn't want Minecraft Steve in Smash Brothers. They would prefer someone else who has more of a personality, more of a focus on that, right? So, look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get Steve. I'm simply saying that there are people from Mojang who work on Minecraft who have said they wouldn't want Steve in Smash Brothers, right? And we already got one representative, so in my opinion, I don't think it's really likely, but... I do recognize that a lot of people want him, so maybe that alone is enough to give him a shot. I mean, he does have a shot, but we already got one Microsoft representative.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking we'd get another one. I was kind of hoping we'd get a Mii costume, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah,
because even Virgin was saying that, hey, there's going to be Minecraft content of some sort, and that has not proven to be the case. It could still eventually happen, but I mean, he's been saying that since before Smash DLC was even announced, and I think at least in that situation, that information he had is incorrect.
Yeah.
It could have been that maybe the plans changed, right?
Unless there's some kind of spirit board or something like that.
Yeah.
Him in it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really the kind of stuff he was talking about, though. He was talking about like bosses and characters. And
right, something major.
Stuff.
Right, something major. Like at one point, he even alluded to it maybe being a character. Right, like he didn't want to say it himself that it would be a character, but he said he was speaking to someone else, and a lot of their sources lined up, and that other person was saying that it would definitely be a character, and that was wrong. Right, it was,
right.
And then they were saying, oh, we'll get a boss, Ender Dragon. That hasn't happened either. My thinking was that a Mii costume would have made the most sense, right? Kind of like what we got for Sans, right? That would have been the best way to handle it. No, that didn't happen either. So not yet.
Yeah.
But I think it should have happened when Banjo came out, and it didn't. So I don't
really see any better time than then. So
I mean, if you could have a Microsoft rep come, another one, Brandon, who would it be for you? Like just what you would want.
Oh, Master Chief, obviously. Yeah, and there's no question I'd want Master Chief.
Oh my God, yeah, Master Chief would be amazing. Personally, I would want Conquer, or some like the Jet Force Gemini crew, but I don't think those will happen, right?
Yeah.
However, what if we got Dixie Kong? That could happen. She's not a Microsoft character, but Rare helped creating her back when they were with Nintendo, right? Kind of like King K. Rool, actually. So they're not owned by Rare, but Rare had a hand in their designs. Like they made the Donkey Kong Country games, which is where they were born.
Even Nintendo referenced their history with Rare in the Banjo Smash trailer by grouping them all together.
Exactly. Yeah. All you need is Dixie Kong, I think, and then you have like kind of like most of the people that really matter from Rare, at least. So let's see what's going on.
Lanky Kong. What are you talking about?
No, Lanky Kong, Funky Kong. What was the giant one's name?
I think his name was Chunky Kong.
Chunky Kong, and Dixie Kong wasn't in Donkey Kong 64. There was another one.
No.
She had two little pigtails.
Tiny Kong.
Was it Tiny? Oh, she's tiny, but I don't know if she was called Tiny Kong. I almost want to say.
There is a Kong named Tiny Kong. So I think...
Is Tiny Kong a big Kong?
No.
I'm looking this up. I have to know.
I know Tiny Kong is a Kong. I just don't know if it's the one from that one.
I want to say there was definitely a Tiny Kong in 64. I just don't know if they went with like the
I think the big one was Chunky Kong.
Probably.
And the tiny little girl one was Tiny Kong.
Yeah. Chunky Kong and Tiny Kong. Yeah. I know, we already talked about you can't forget about Lanky Kong. Lanky Kong is unforgettable. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of missed that crew. I thought they were really cool, man. I thought they were really, really cool. But, maybe if there's a new Donkey Kong, not 64, but a new 3D Donkey Kong in the future, we could see them return. That'd be amazing.
Be great.
Yeah. But let's continue down here with the chat. Super Chris, what's up, man? Mastermind, how likely Lloyd Irving to be in Smash? Well, so Lloyd Irving's from Tales of Symphonia, right? Like, I remember years ago, Lloyd Irving was like, yeah, he's such a cool character, but, like, have we seen Lloyd Irving in anything else? Like, I don't...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
I'm just kind of looking... I mean, he did get the Mii costume in Smash 4. So, there's that. I don't know, man. I think... I'm just looking over some information for Lloyd Irving right here. On the SSB wiki, it's saying his origin. Lloyd Irving serves as the main character from Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube, as a player protagonist in Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World for the Wii. He's also a guest character in Soul Calibur Legends for the Wii. Very simple. I mean, so he's been in a few games.
Been around.
And he was a Mii fighter in Smash 4, so I don't think it's out of the question, but I feel like it's more likely, and I could be wrong. Although he was kind of high up in polls recently, fairly. I don't know. I just personally, why should we get Lloyd when they could have like done, like redid Isaac or Shovel Knight or something? Someone who's, I don't know, maybe it's just like when you look at the Fatal Fury with Terry Bogard, we're gonna see that character again in other games. You know, what's going on, Brandon?
People in the chat were talking about my Link's Awakening amiibo, so I was into it.
Oh, yeah, actually, it looks really nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The point I was trying to make though is just that I just don't know if we're gonna see Lloyd Irving again in another game, right?
Yeah.
But like the characters that have come in Smash are coming. Granted, I also don't necessarily expect Geno to come back either, and I'm a big proponent for Geno, so, you know,
yeah,
there's that. But I've also been talking about maybe if there's another Mario RPG series that they bring Geno back. So, you know, hard to say. I don't think he's out of the question, but I personally don't feel confident about Lloyd Irving happening.
Yeah, I don't really know much about him, so I can't really say too much.
Sab64 saying, you guys should follow Nix Gaming on Instagram. He's always up to date on Nintendo news. That's where I saw it. Interesting. I'll check it out. Terry Sirfetch'd, Minecraft Steve would work better as a Mii costume because Steve is just a skin. That's what I sort of thought as well, to be honest with you. Griefing Golem. It would be great to see another Microsoft character in Smash, but it's hard to say if another one will come. Yeah, I agree. Matt to Gaming. Next year, the new online library. Do you think Nintendo will reveal N64 Game Boy? Well, you know, I didn't look into this, but there was something that came up about like an N64 prototype or something. You know what I'm talking about, Brandon?
Yeah.
I didn't read about it at all.
I think somebody just found it was a
prototype N64 controller.
Yeah.
I see it here. Putting it up on the podcast.
N64. Dude, that thing also looks awesome, by the way, I have to say.
Yeah. But this wasn't meant for... What was this meant for?
I think this was just a prototype when they were actually...
For that actual controller. Yeah, so this wasn't like we found an SNES Classic wireless controller or anything like that. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, this is a cool prototype controller. It looks... This almost looks like something that would work in today's world.
It looks sleek.
Yeah, nice. I really like it, actually. It looks really cool. That analog stick looks a lot more comfortable than the one that they went with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they went with the other one.
I don't know.
Maybe the other one had better range of motion.
Or maybe it was just cheap.
Kind of stock.
Maybe it was just cheaper.
It's kind of thick.
That sometimes is why they go with things.
Wrong.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think N64 and Game Boy... I don't want to say that they're like a shoo-in, but I do think that since they already expanded Nintendo's online service to Super Nintendo games, that does open the door to even more expansion, right? But
if I'm remembering right, and I could be remembering completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure back when we first started seeing like the SNES, like in the data mines, the little SNES controller icon, we also saw all the SNES games and that emulator listed.
Right.
But there was another emulator, wasn't there? I believe there was
vaguely remember
another one, yeah. So that could be... Well, I think at the time we were speculating N64 and Game Boy games as well. So I don't remember exactly, like... I think one of them was more likely than the other, but I don't remember the details. I'd personally like to see an N64 for the online, just because Game Boy games... I've no nostalgia for Game Boy games at all. And most of them are pretty simple compared to like.
I also feel like
mainline games.
I don't know.
Console versions.
I feel like an N64 emulator is a bigger deal. Like how.
Yeah.
Like how much work do you need to do to get like a Super Nintendo emulator to run a Game Boy emulator well? You know.
Right.
So, but like with N64, because it does like use like 3D graphics and all the different like. There's a whole bunch of nuances with how that whole generation worked, right? And the sound and the poor textures and 3D environments, obviously. So I have to imagine that, you know, if they need to like be thinking of any emulator in advance, maybe the N64 one makes the most sense to me, right?
Yeah.
There's also GameCube, but that's a whole other level.
I feel like they wouldn't skip N64.
No, I think it makes more sense for Nintendo to make like HD remakes or remasters of GameCube games.
Yeah.
So, I want to say there's like a 50-50 chance that we see N64 eventually on Nintendo Online.
We don't have an N64 Classic, so that's a thing.
That is a thing. That's true. And we did see like patents for an N64 controller a while back, leading people to believe there would be an N64 Classic. That never happened. So I think it's either A, N64 with Nintendo Online, or N64 Classic eventually. So one or the other. I do think it's in some way we will get actual N64 games in the future, I think. So we'll have to wait and see. But I wouldn't expect it for at least another year.
Mm-hmm.
See, where are we in the chat here? Oh, man. I don't know where we're at. Griffin Golem. I think Vergeman, after the recent update, said that it might have been fake info put to throw off leakers. That's always a possibility.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Vergeman is a false prophet, right? I think he
got
has
a bunch of stuff right.
He got too much right to not believe that there's some source of real information there. But not all of his information is correct. That's just how it is with leaks.
A lot of his DLC predictions have been wrong.
Yeah. Maybe they kind of like got an idea of that. You know, like I don't know how exactly his insider info is, like what that scene is like, but maybe some of his sources got caught by that point, or they changed the pattern, right? Because they were trying to figure out where the leaks are coming from. You know, that could maybe be the case. But either way, it doesn't. Yeah, Vergeman hasn't been a very good source of information for a while. Like he did technically leak Banjo, but I mean,
everybody was leaking Banjo.
You and I leaked Banjo before Vergeman. Like, you know, no, it does not count. If you leak something a day or two before, I mean, it's nice, but it's just not that big of a deal. I mean, you know, like I kind of don't even like leaks. If it's gonna happen a day or two before, why even bother? You know, like, it just meh.
I'd rather just get surprised in a day or two.
Yeah. The only reason I'll pay attention to them is just to see if like, oh, okay, yeah, he has legit sources.
Right. That's pretty much the only reason, is just to get more verification.
Mm-hmm. 764, you're saying you see Game Boy happening before N64?
Game Boy would be the easier one, probably.
Yes, would be the easier one.
It'd also be the more of a letdown.
Would be more of a letdown. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know. I'm not sure. Although we did just get Link's Awakening remade, right? And a couple years ago we got Samus Returns remade, right? So, and those are Game Boy games.
Right.
Now, I'm just saying, like, if they're pulling their remakes back from the Game Boy era, I don't know if that would take away from a Game Boy Virtual Console at all. But there aren't any N64 remakes happening, so you know.
Nope.
I'm gonna side with N64, especially because we had patents for an N64 controller at some point.
Yeah.
But Game Boy is also a possibility. Yeah, I would cry tears of joy if Conker got into Smash's Sabbath.
I think it was cool, but I don't really care about Conker at all.
Yeah, you shut up. Matt to Gaming. I'm just kidding. You can speak as much as you want. That's all you had to say on it, though.
That's all I had to say. I
Okay.
don't care about it.
All right. Matt to Gaming. With the whole Ender Dragon boss in Smash thing, it was interpreted that way because in the finals, the Rathalos boss was named End Dragon. Interesting. Oh, man. Damn. Those Vergeman sources are just seeming worse and worse by the minute, aren't they? Yeah, Terry Sivertson saying those polls are just fan polls. That's true. When I brought up Lord was hiving polls, they are just fan polls, right? But I do think who is the popular character definitely is a factor that plays into who gets into Smash Brothers. I think that's why King K. Rool and Ridley are in Smash Ultimate, right? As well as Isabelle. So, you know, that is something to consider, but yeah, it is not the be-all, end-all. Like, I wouldn't say Terry Bogard would have been high up there, right? Not that there isn't a fan base, but he wasn't really high up in any popularity polls for our regions.
Yeah.
Briefing Golem. Yeah, from when I saw, Papagenos mentioned how the Minecraft part from Virgin leak was false info, put in to throw off leakers, or to not be fully right to not get sued by Nintendo. Interesting. Matt to Gaming's asking, how likely is Doomslayer being in Smash? Well, in my recent 15 most likely characters for Smash Ultimate DLC, spoiler, I put Doom Guy as third. I think he's really likely. When we have confirmed information that Bethesda is in discussions with Nintendo about Smash, like, that's a legit interview. What materializes from that, we have no clue. Perhaps nothing. But there was a discussion. We know that for a fact, right? Not to mention, we got Doom 64. That's the first time it's released since the N64, and it's like a remastered version. All of the Doom games have come onto Switch this year. They did do a special announcement with Doom 64. There are peripherals for Doom coming. You know, Doom's been kind of big on Switch, and of course, Doom Eternal's coming out this year.
Yeah, so that's 6 Doom games once Doom Eternal comes out.
Right.
On the Switch, if I'm counting correctly.
Right. So, I think, and he's the kind
insane to think about, because they're all from Bethesda, which is really weird to see so many Bethesda games.
Right, it's insane, but that's another interesting thing, though. Bethesda did not support Nintendo before the Switch. So, this premise of getting Bethesda involved in Smash Brothers, now that Bethesda has become a really big third-party partner with Nintendo, really big. I mean, they might be the most important third-party inclusion. I think you can make an argument.
They are. Yeah, I definitely think that they have been the biggest supporters so far.
So now that they're finally in the fold, having them involved in Smash Brothers just kind of makes sense, you know? Because they're big.
Yeah.
Bethesda's huge. Like, because if
Bethesda...
Then
again, we got Ubisoft and they still don't got anybody.
Well, I also think he makes sense eventually for the Smash DLC in the future as well, right?
Right.
Although I'm sure some of you are going to be like, no, he's a spirit. It's not possible. I cannot wait till a spirit character makes it into Smash Brothers as a playable character, because then everyone has to shut up. Like, at that point, anything goes. Yeah. Well, the only thing at that point that I think people would say, oh, but assist trophies, no. But then what if an assist trophy happens?
God.
What can you say then?
There's just, you can't
no anime
say...
characters. But then Goku's announced for the...
there are very few things that can actually, like, make a character pretty much impossible. And those are the only things, like, Goku. Like, Sakurai himself has said, we're not interested in putting these people in Smash. And even sometimes, he'll say that and it still could get in. But most likely, those are like the only ones you can really rule out. Or people like Goku, Shrek, Iron Man. Like,
for
those
now.
Are like everybody else. It's like no, you could say like logically that's unlikely, but it's
right.
It's
yeah,
not
there is
possible.
no 0% for Smash at this point. But you can look at the trends. You can see what there's a precedent for. So is there a precedent for assist trophies getting in as DLC? No. There isn't. But we're also in uncharted territory, right?
Right.
We've never been in this situation before where there's a whole new season of Smash Brothers coming, right? We don't know what could happen there, right? And on top of that, in terms of the spirit discussion, there was, trophies for Mewtwo and Lucas and Roy in Smash 4, correct? And all of those were DLC. Smash for Wii U and 3DS.
I guess. I didn't actually know that. That's cool.
Yeah, they were trophies, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So...
which are pretty much spirits.
Right. In fact, they're
actually less.
I would even say that trophies are more important than spirits.
Yeah, trophies are way more important than spirits.
Yeah.
They actually had, like, descriptions and everything.
Exactly. So in my opinion, like the premise of spirits not happening, it just kind of, I don't really feel that. Granted, we still haven't seen a spirit make it in yet as a DLC, so there isn't precedent for it necessarily, but there's a similarity for what happened in Smash for Wii, so I think there's possibility. Right. But some people also are making the argument that Sakurai is focusing on bringing in new worlds into Smash Brothers, and I think that's a good argument. My counter to it, though, is just that I think that was not necessarily meant to say that everything has to be exactly 100% new and never been Smash at all, right? I think that was just to say bringing in more characters and just expanding the Smash universe. I think that's really what it was meant to say. But on top of that, like in my opinion, like I feel like it would be really weird if we get over 2 years worth of DLC and the only Nintendo character that's added is Piranha Plant.
That would be really weird, to be honest.
This is a Nintendo fighting game, so
that would mean more third-party characters in Smash Ultimate, more new third parties than first parties by a lot, which would be insane.
Well, I mean, that could be what they're going for, right? No one thought the Fighters Pass would be all third party, but so far it is. So, I don't know. The other thing is that it's not easy getting third-party characters into Smash Brothers. Like, this is, a huge thing, right? Like, it's a collaboration between multiple companies. There's agreements made. It's a partnership. So, I feel like if we're gonna get more DLC, we don't know how much more. Now it's harder. It becomes increasingly hard to add third-party characters because of all those different partnerships and licenses. And it's a Nintendo fighting game. I think there's got to be some Nintendo characters coming. And if you think about the Nintendo characters that there could be added, you kind of have to go into Spirit territory, I think. Right? Or Assist Trophy territory. But then again, that could be the argument. It's also, it can go both ways, that argument, right? Because well, that's why they're probably just going to focus on third-party characters. But I feel like there's got to be at least a couple Nintendo characters. I still think more third parties are coming, though.
Yeah.
So where are we in the chat here? Brennan Stryker. Hey guys, are you going to talk about the Switch Lite? Vaguely, because the problem is that neither Brandon nor I have a Switch Lite, so I wasn't able to get anyone on to talk about the Switch Lite, so that's kind of my bad. But from what we've heard, I mean, it seems good. Like, it seems like a comfortable system. There is some debate about the Joy-Con drift issue. From what I saw, initially, Spawn wanted to tear it down. He felt like they were pretty much the same, from what I heard. But then I saw more footage showing that there is actually a difference with the metal plating at the bottom, implying that it did change something about the analog sticks with the Switch Lite. However, we're now hearing reports that there's some Joy-Con drift, but I haven't seen anything that's been 100% foolproof, confirmed. And with any new piece of hardware, there's always someone complaining about something about it, no matter what, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean Joy-Con drift issues. Not to mention, the Joy-Con drift issue, I think, had more to do with the Joy-Cons wearing out over time, right? Not so much that you get it from the box within the first couple of days it's already not working. I think that's like I feel like it's a different problem. We'll have to wait a while before we really know.
Yeah, the Joy-Con drift issues typically take at least a few weeks or months to start happening. It's not like something that's just already broken.
Yeah, so I think most of these reports of Joy-Con drift are not saying there isn't drift. What I'm saying is that that's not necessarily indicative of the issue that we had on the Switch. I think that's just maybe some faulty systems, and that happens with every system launch in the history of mankind for all companies. There's always some. But let's just get started with the discussion, Brandon. So, Sirfetch'd hype. Did you see this coming?
Yeah, we called it.
Everyone called
we
it.
didn't call. Everybody called it.
Everyone called
But
it.
yeah, we knew what was up. I was not too surprised about it, obviously, because we already talked about it. But it looks cool. I was surprised that it's apparently he's sword exclusive.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he has a sword and a shield, so I would not think that.
Right. No, I see your point. I kind of agree with that. But the interesting takeaway from that is that him being a sword exclusive means effectively that there's going to be a shield exclusive counterpart. So who's that going to be?
We haven't seen anything of that.
We don't know. But what's interesting is that Farfetch'd has kind of been almost like a meme Pokemon, right? Like he's gotten fairly popular throughout internet culture because he's always been kind of like this underutilized Pokemon. And there's always been the joke about, hey, even though your Farfetch'd has barely any attack, barely any speed or defenses, you're still going to use your Farfetch'd with his leak as the item to stick, and you're just going to Swords Dance 3 times, and you're going to use your high critical hit ratio attacks, and you're going to take a hit, barely survive, and kill one Pokemon, maybe. Like, that's, you're going to fight. Like, there has been that kind of like the motif of like Farfetch'd is like a royalty, or not royalty, but like a noble fighter. That's kind of been like the motif or culture of Farfetch'd. So it's interesting that they created this evolution for Farfetch'd and Sword and Shield, where he is a noble sword and shield wielding knight.
Right.
Sirfetch'd, like this is very, very Game of Thronesy. So it's pretty neat. Now, am I saying that they like intentionally like copied memes? No, but I think there is like a wink there, like, hey, this makes sense for Farfetch'd, right? Especially because we are in Sword and Shield, right? Like there is that motif there already with the game. It's interesting, and it makes me wonder: is there going to be another Pokemon that's been popular, throughout internet culture among fans, that has been underappreciated in the games that maybe could get an improvement as well? The one that's come up by many is Dunsparce. Brandon, I know you don't know about every single Pokemon game, so I'll just bring up Dunsparce for you. He looks dumb. You're gonna be like, okay, why do people care about this? There he is, Dunsparce. He's a land snake, and he's a normal type.
He look dumb. I don't know, he looks kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah? Okay. I think he looks cool. I just thought you would think he looked dumb.
No.
Forgive me for assuming your opinion.
Kind of looks like a Zelda enemy, to be honest. A little bit.
Especially in Link's Awakening. Any enemy any character can be an enemy in Link's Awakening. But yeah, so Dunsparce is an interesting Pokemon from I guess Generation 2. I didn't realize he's from Generation 2. It's been a while for me. But I didn't use him in Generation 2, for the record. Underappreciated. But like a lot of people speculate that what if they made this guy like a dragon Pokemon? Like he has little wings, right? He looks kind of like a bug, but he's not. He's called the land snake Pokemon. So given that he's a land snake, you could see him evolve into some sort of dragon, right? Yeah. So maybe Dunsparce could be the shield counterpart. That'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
But this is pure speculation. I don't know if there's any more evidence besides the fact that he's just an underappreciated Pokemon that's loved by the fan base. Like, is there any Pokemon that you would like to see that comes just off the top of your head that you would like to see get a Galarian form or a Galarian evolution?
I can't think of any, to be honest.
It was actually, Obstagoon is the one you had in mind. You know who I want to get a Galarian evolution? Charizard. I'm feeling like a Charizard dweeb. I want him to always have all the buffs and power-ups. I'm actually really concerned for Charizard because it doesn't look like we're getting Megas in Sword and Shield, right? And so, because of that, Charizard does not have his amazing Charizard Y or X form, suggesting that he'll go back to what he was beforehand, which was trash. Not useful, not good enough for anything, and just death to stealth rocks. Yeah, kinda. Like, you could maybe use him, but he'll be kinda, like, really niche. Like, not even niche, like, there will be niche Pokemon better than him. A lot. Like, he'll fall way down the tier lists. So,
maybe
you know.
they'll just make him better? I don't know.
Could be. I'm very optimistic. I'm hopeful.
And of course, he could get a what's the exact wording?
Gigantamax form.
Gigantamax, yes.
Yeah.
He could get a form like that.
Maybe. My issue with that, though, is that Gigantamax only lasts for 3 turns. So,
yeah.
Outside those 3 turns, Charizard will still be trash if they don't do anything about his stats or the mechanics of Stealth Rock and Fire Flying types. So we'll see. Maybe they could just give him a stat boost. Because the thing is, we know he's the main Pokemon for the champion, right? So it's going to be weird if Charizard just kind of sucks. It is the in-game campaign, so it doesn't matter that much. But for example, like most champions have like a pseudo-legendary, like they have like a really good Pokemon on their team. If Charizard is like the Pokemon for the champion, they better give him some sort of buff, man.
Right, you would think he'd be pretty powerful.
I hope. I'm a Charizard guy. I'm sure there's some people who don't care. They just want Charizard to just fall into irrelevancy. But I don't.
No, Charizard's amazing.
He's my favorite Pokemon, okay? I don't want it to happen.
Right, he's in Smash.
He's in Smash! Charizard is a Smash brother.
Yeah?
Yeah. He was even his own individual character in Smash 4. Charizard deserves love and attention and buffs all the time.
Yes.
So, I'm not sure. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat, though. Terry Severson, I believe that we'll be getting Shantae as the first playable indie character through DLC with a stage and some music. Oh, I'm all for that. I'm all for that for sure. I may even bring her up in my DLC wish list. We'll see. Stay tuned. But, Griefing Golem, Dragon, Dunsparce, or Ghost Shuckle? Who do you think it will be? Ooh. So, like, the Shuckle thing makes a lot of sense because, Shield, right? Like, Pokemon Shield. And while, yes, Sirfetch'd has a shield, the emphasis has been on his big lance, like, sword leak. So, if there is a Pokemon that has more of an emphasis on the shield item or ability, that could be interesting. Shuckle's already one of the most defensive Pokemon in the game. Another interesting theory, which I like about you bringing up Ghost Shuckle, is that there's an exclusive gym for each game. There is the fighting gym, right? Is it? Yeah, fighting and ghost. It's one or the other for the games. I believe in Sword, it's fighting, right? And Sirfetch'd is a fighting Pokemon. So since there's an exclusive ghost gym, maybe there's also an exclusive Ghost Galarian evolution.
That would make a lot of sense.
Ghost Shuckle does make sense. It could also still be Ghost. It could be still, Ghost. Whatchamacallit? Dunsparce. Or Ghost Dragon. Oh, that'd be epic.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. I'd love that. So, because there's only one Ghost Dragon that's Giratina, it's a legendary, so to have like a non-legendary Ghost Dragon would be amazing. Let me see here. Matt the Game, who do you think will be the last fighter? Siri, shut up. I didn't say, hey Siri, okay? Jesus.
Stop listening to our conversations here.
So creepy. Matt DeGammy, who do you think will be the last Fighter Pass character, and do you think there will be a Fighter Pass 2? Well, we already know the more DLC is coming. So, will it be as another Fighter's Pass? I don't know. Who I think will be the last character? I'm going to say Doom Guy.
I would love it to be Doom Guy.
It could be so many other characters, so it's hard to say for sure. But I'm just going to roll with Doom Guy.
Doom Guy, I mean, I made a video on it. That was a while back, actually. But I really want him in. He makes a lot of sense. There's so much history, not only with gaming, but with Nintendo and the Switch, and it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, for sure. So, Terry Severson, it's about time Farfetch'd got an evolution. It was originally supposed to get an evolution in Gold and Silver, but it got scrapped. I remember that. Yeah, because a whole bunch of the Gen 2 sprites got revealed, or they came out of like hiding from the alpha or beta of the game. And yeah, there is like this giant swan-like goose thing with like a black mask that would have been like a Farfetch'd evolution, which doesn't look quite like Sirfetch'd, but Sirfetch'd does have like that kind of glare. So, and obviously it's a bigger, cooler version of Farfetch'd. Yeah, I think it's about time Farfetch'd got an evolution, because he was kind of useless. He needed something. He had nothing going for him. Not really. Grief and Golem. The two ideas are either Dragon Dunsparce for the Knight versus Dragon thing, or Ghost Shuckle since Ghost and Fighting Gems. Yeah, exactly what I was talking about. Which one do I think it will be?
I'd bet on Ghost Shuckle, honestly.
Yeah, Ghost Shuckle makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Ghost Shuckle makes a lot of sense. Cake Man. I'd be happy if they got rid of Stealth Rocks. Ice types have enough problems as it is. I don't want them to get rid of Stealth Rocks, but I would want maybe losing half of your life is a little bit too much though for Stealth Rocks. Maybe minimize that damage a little bit. If it's like if it just maxes out at a quarter, that'd be great. Cypher Blade, sword for smash. Hey, that'd be epic. Project Shotinator, hello there, you subbed? Welcome. Mandy, what's up? Sirfetch'd is your bae? Sirfetch'd is definitely a bae, that's for sure. And Project Shotinator, I'm Andres. Yeah, I don't... Should I like put like our names on the thing so people know? Because before we had the Google Hangout where like, you know, it was just switching dynamically all the time. I guess I could put our names on there so it's more clear.
I didn't even think like people wouldn't know which one we are, because I'm just used to like, you know, people from the channel. I'm like, oh yeah, if somebody was new, they wouldn't know, would they? Yeah,
I guess not. Interesting point. So maybe I'll put like names now, since we're just using Discord. I guess there's no shifting of the screen, so we could just have names there and not worry about that. Anyway, Project Shawnee was saying, I think the last DLC character is going to either be Waluigi from the Mario series or Master Chief from the Halo series. Either one of those would be mind-blowing. So what do you think, when you say last DLC character, do you mean the last one for this current Fighter's Pass, or you just mean the last one because they announced more DLC is coming?
Right. I don't think either of those are likely for the last one for this Fighter's Pass, but I guess they have a possibility for, you know, the more DLC.
I mean, if I had to pick between Waluigi and Master Chief, I'm gonna go with Waluigi. Right?
Yeah.
Matt DeGaming, do you think Banjo will return in the next Smash? Hard to say, man. I don't even know when the next Smash is gonna come.
Hard to say. Yeah, the next Smash in 20 years.
When we have kids and families, and we're grandparents already. Okay, maybe not that long, but, you know, hard to say. Terry Siverton, it might be possible that when Bethesda talked to Nintendo about Smash Ultimate, it might have just been for a Bethesda character to get in as a Mii costume. Perhaps. Could be. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just because a company has discussions doesn't mean it has to be, a newcomer. There's so many possibilities. It may not even materialize into anything in the game.
Yeah.
So... What's going on? Project Shiny was saying, I like your background. It's not just that, but also the giant Link. Oh, he likes your giant Link, Brandon.
Yes. I actually changed my background. That's different. And I have my games. Well, you can't see because I'm in the way. All my games are there.
Wow.
I need to fix my camera so that we can see the whole shelf, but I haven't changed it yet.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
Work in progress. 764, why would Sakura put in Waluigi after all the hate he got for not putting him in? Those haters don't deserve Waluigi.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want to see... That was English. I wouldn't want to see Waluigi in Smash, to be honest.
I mean, he's an assist trophy, so he is in Smash, but I
Right.
usually don't play with items, so I don't really... That's the one thing. So, it's not that I don't appreciate assist trophies, it's that most of the time I don't play with items, so... I rarely see the assist trophies, so when I get to see that character, it's so rare for me.
I like playing with items.
I do. I mean, like, it depends on who I'm playing with, but oftentimes I don't play with items. Most of the time I don't play with items, so I just don't see these characters as often.
Most of the time I do. However, I haven't seen Waluigi in a freaking long time, so I don't know.
Yeah, and on the point of assist trophies, if assist trophies do somehow get upgraded, it could just be set up where, hey, if you play as that character, that assist trophy will not show up, right? We've seen things like that before. Like, for example, if you play as Toon Link in the Toon Link Spirit Track stage, he doesn't show up on the train, right?
No.
Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Does he not?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't know that.
I think one of the pirates. Well, he's not a pirate in Spirit Tracks, but he's like the reincarnation of one of the pirates, like the big one. I forget his name.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that would be the case. I mean, technically, I guess Toon Link. I guess because he's not a specific Link. He's just all of them. But I don't know. It's kind of weird that he wouldn't be there because they could just, technically there are 3 different Links, or 2 different Links that are Toon Link. So.
Yeah, basically, I think it could happen, but we haven't seen it happen yet.
Yeah.
Grief and Golem. I think it might end up being Ghost Shuckle, as Farfetch'd can be found with a held item of the week, and Shuckle is the same with Berry Juice. Okay. There's something to that. It's an interesting point. Cake Man. I'm all for Ryo Hayabusa, the last big NES icon. Sorry, Contra. And is a series that is still around. Like Shifty did have an insider had multiple sources saying Ryo Hayabusa. They felt confident about it, and nothing has materialized for that. So maybe it's just going to be the 5th character. Could be the case.
Maybe so.
Matt to Gaming. If there is N64 games coming to Nintendo Switch Online, do you think rare games like Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day will be added? Hard to say, because I could also see it being like a rare replay sort of package.
I don't think Microsoft or Rare-owned games would make it to a free service. I don't think that would make much sense.
Right, I think Rare would want a better cut of that pie. I think either A, we get a Rare replay, or what happens is that maybe just Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie make it onto the eShop at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, I prefer Rare Replay so we get most of those games, because I don't see all of those games coming individually to the eShop, or all of those games getting onto Super Nintendo Online, or not Super Nintendo Online, but just N64 Nintendo Online, I guess.
Right.
So, Rare Replay, keep your fingers crossed. Parshanator. I think it was 2 Waluigi fans that harassed Sakurai, I heard, and I was not one of them. I mean, I also want to Shadow the Hedgehog, but he's still an assist trophy with Waluigi, but can't be KO'd, but Waluigi can. That's funny. Waluigi can get thwomped and Shadow the Hedgehog can't. Yeah, there's some assist trophies you can take out. I mean, I do think it's a good point, though, right? Like, you shouldn't punish all the Waluigi fans. Not all Waluigi fans were attacking people. Those people who are doing death threats, that is a minority, right? Vocal minority that's not representative of the whole. Cake Man, Alucard is also shut off on the Wii Fit stage. There you go. Right, they shut him off because it's a giant mirror and he's a vampire. So, seeing assist trophies turned off for particular events because a certain character is picked or a certain stage is picked. That's basically the kind of mechanic you would need, which has already been shown off in Smash multiple times.
Yeah. To
have assist trophies get upgraded. It's not a real barrier if Sakurai wants it to happen. But will he want it to happen? I don't know, because he may feel that an assist trophy is enough representation already, and what he's really focusing with Smash Ultimate is just trying to get as many franchises involved as possible, which is why we might not see any Nintendo characters. Because if he's just trying to get in as many franchises in as possible, most Nintendo franchises have some level of representation. It may just be a spirit, which I think is kind of lame, personally. But if the vision is just to get everyone in to some capacity, including basically almost the entire gaming industry in terms of the icons, then I could see a situation where it's pretty much just third-party characters. But I think there's going to be more of a balance. I don't think it's black and white like that. I think definitely still more third-party characters to come, but I think it's going to be hard for there to be more DLC for a Nintendo fighting game without actually some Nintendo characters. So
yeah, it would be very strange. It's not impossible, but I kind of don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to our wish list, Brandon, when we get to that point. 764, he added me. Imagine if Nintendo does bring N64 games to the online service. Picture how the online multiplayer would be, especially if they if they added GoldenEye or Smash 64 online or Mario Kart 64 online or Wave Race 64 online or F-Zero X online or Donkey Kong 64 online or Jet Force Gemini. Oh, okay, Jet Force Gemini would be a rare game, but maybe Rare Replay could have online game. Oh my, this needs to happen. This needs to happen.
Please.
Oh my god, yeah. Matt the Gaming Man. Since Piranha Plant is a DLC character without a stage, do you think we'll see a DLC stage without a character? There's one stage that I think could happen without a character, and that's Pokefloats. If they were to bring back Pokefloats is one of the few stages that wasn't brought back. I think another one was a Donkey Kong Country stage from Smash for Wii U. There's a couple others, but I think there's an S4 stage you wanted that didn't happen.
Yeah, Sector Z.
Yeah.
The best stage in all of Smash.
So, if it's a stage like that, a stage that's getting remastered or redone, or just being brought back to Smash, then it'd be one of those. But I don't even know if we'll get any more stages. The stages might end with the Fighter's Pass, right? So we'll see. Like, you know, eliminating the need to bring in more stages may make it easier to focus on the DLC that's coming. Hard to say, though.
The N64 stages are not hard to bring back, though, because they don't change a lot of it.
They just add, like, nice textures. Like, cleaner. They add HD textures.
And it's kind of hit or... Some of them, they did more than others. Like,
yeah, like, I like...
definitely looks a lot better than
it looks
the
great.
other ones.
Absolutely. 764, Qbert will be the last DLC fighter. I don't even know what that is.
Qbert.
I don't know.
Look this up.
Terry Siverton, Alucard can appear in the Fountain of Dream stage and has a reflection, but must be some sort of oversight or glitch. I think it's an oversight, because why would he not be visible on the Wii Fit stage?
Oh, Qbert. Yeah, they're in Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay. I didn't even watch Wreck-It Ralph.
I'm pretty sure that, well, they're actually from a video game, but they're also in Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, well. They're probably from the video game. I don't know which game that is. John Smith, hello there. So, where are we at? Well, I guess we could finally get into our Link's Awakening impressions. Matt DeGang, imagine if Nintendo introduced GameCube Online so people can play Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Kart Double Dash, or Mario Party 7 online. That would be broken amazing.
God.
Broken good amazing. That'd be so epic.
Be so good.
Alexander Christopher Hernandez added me. What do you think about them adding Astral Chain's twin protagonists to Smash? They come from Platinum Games, but Nintendo financed it a lot. It was also heavily praised and advertised. I think that if Smash Brothers was coming out 2 or 3 years from now, like a new one, then they would make it in. Like, I think it's really a timing situation.
I think it's too late. The game came out too late in the cycle for it to get any Smash presence.
But at the same time, the DLC is a different situation. They could. Like, for example, remember Corrin? For Fire Emblem? Like, that was just kind of...
Yeah.
That was a planned thing for Nintendo to push Fire Emblem more. That's why Corrin was added.
Right.
But it doesn't look like they planned the DLC in that way to push Astral Chain, because Astral Chain is already out. And by the time we would see in Akira a DLC character, it would be a while from now. But it doesn't mean that Astral Chain can't be like an evergreen title that continues to sell and gets a boost with Akira. And maybe if there's an Astral Chain sequel, which there actually is reason to think that.
Yeah, there definitely is.
So I'm all for it, man. In fact, that might be on my wish list. Maybe.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be really awesome. Terry Silverton, from what I've seen with Astral Chain protagonists, they would probably play similar to Joker. No. I don't agree.
No.
I don't agree because I see your point in terms of how they come up, like the persona, right? But there's like the whole chain mechanic. You'd be completely ignoring the title of the game, Astral Chain. I think they would have to do a chaining mechanic, like doing the whole, like the chaining someone. That would have to be an element, right? Yeah. Like they could even be like a Pokemon trainer sort of thing, where each like they could switch out to the 5 different chain, like actual legions. Right. Now maybe they minimize that a little bit. Like maybe they wouldn't be like a whole other character. It might be
certain moves automatically pull out a certain one.
Yeah,
like
that makes more sense.
A projectile move would pull out the Arrow Legion and whatever.
Right. And he has a gun, the big sword. Like the big sword could be like the smash attacks, right? While the lighter attacks could be the baton. Right, and then there'll be like some of the moves will be an actual gunshot, and then you could charge the gunshot maybe, and then he'll probably have a tether grab, right, with throwing the sword legion to bring you up to a ledge. Yeah. So
in the final smash for sure. I don't really want to spoil it.
Well, yeah,
but I think you know what I mean.
Late game. There's a late game power up.
Yeah.
That would definitely be the final smash.
For sure be the final smash.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so. It would kind of be more along the lines of what we just described, I think.
I think it could work really well.
In other words, it'd be a unique moveset, and totally would be... I definitely would like to see that in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I'd be hyped. That'd be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen just because, typically we don't see new, characters come so late, or from games that are so recent. I mean, we didn't get, Rex and Pyra yet,
Right,
but Rex and Pyra is a little different because
huge moveset potential.
Right. If they make it into the More DLC, well, the More DLC is like over 2 years after that game came out, as opposed to Astral Chain, which just came out. So it's a lot closer to the next DLC than, say, Xenoblade.
Right.
And even then, we're like, will Rex and Pyra get in? We don't know.
We don't know.
What happened? We don't know.
I mean, I think the answer is yes, but
I would love the answer to be yes.
It's kind of like one of those situations where if Rex and Pyra don't happen, it's purely because Sakurai just wants to focus on third-party characters. That's what I think. Like, if there are going to be Nintendo characters in the DLC, Rex and Pyra are, like, 100% happening in my eyes. But if, for whatever reason, Sakurai just wants to do third-party characters, like, exclusively third-party characters for the rest of the DLC, then they're not third-party characters, so they won't happen. That's how I see it, at least.
I'm not as confident. I don't know, just because he has the Mii costume, and I'm just wondering if Sakurai's like, no, what do you mean? That's it.
Isn't that good enough? Isn't that him?
Yeah.
No.
That's
not. You know it's not. You played the game. Yeah, I know. No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Again, I do have the I always have the concern.
I mean, Sakurai might want him in, but Nintendo might be like, but he's Mii fighter or he's Mii costume.
Yeah, focus on something else instead. Like
it might not be Sakurai's decision.
Like Captain Rainbow. Put in Captain Rainbow. We'd like to see Captain Rainbow. Yeah. Captain Rainbow is a Nintendo character, by the way. Not joking with that one. 764. Everyone get ready when Andres drops his merch soon. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So, I finally created my first shirt, and it's actually a bit more complicated than just this logo right here. So I actually there's a white silhouette of you-know-who, right? And in the back, you got my text, but there's this other side. I can't, like, see what I'm showing you guys, so I'm turning around. Yeah. You got a little flame tail. So,
yeah.
I really try to make this shirt something that people would want to wear, even if they weren't like really into gaming or anything, or just kind of hate me. Just basically, I try to make a shirt that someone would buy at a store just because it looks good. So hopefully you guys think it looks good. I'm working out the details, right? So I don't want to put a specific date on when it will be for sale, but I'm working on it actively. So soon, hopefully. Nice. But yeah, I'm really excited. I spent a long time working on this. So, yeah, and actually bringing out sweaters for the winter weather that's a really smart idea as well. So that's maybe something I should consider once I get these shirts out of the way. So where are we though here? John Smith, I think that Doomslayer should be in Smash because that would be badass. It would be badass, 100%. Yeah. Matt the Gangman, with Platinum Games done with Astral Chain, maybe we'll finally get more news on Bayonetta 3. Well, yeah, they have separate teams working on the different games, but now that the marketing for Astral Chain is done, they should be moving on to Bayonetta 3 sooner or later. I think we're going to see a lot of Bayonetta 3 next year. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see.
It's been so long. They really announced that very early. I don't think...
Not as early as Metro Prime 4.
Yeah. I don't think people were expecting it to take this long. At least I wasn't.
No. It could be an early... honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if it's like a... If it comes out by summer next year. That would not shock me. But we'll have to see. It could be a holiday title next year.
Could be a good December title, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Alexander Christopher, the very director from the game, said that Nintendo's help was very, very noticeable and important for that game to become a reality. We're talking about Astral Chain, right? Yeah.
I guess.
Alexander Baruso, Andres, hear me out. You and Brandon should totally wear a fedora hat. You would look so cool. Fedoras.
Actually, when I was younger, in like mid-teens, I was like obsessed with fedoras. All my my Xbox avatar had a fedora. I tried to put fedoras in like every character I ever made, like anything. I don't know. I was just obsessed with fedoras, and I really wanted one. Still have not had one.
I think this fedora idea is a good idea. Alexander, I think me and Brandon should maybe do it now, especially now that I've heard about Brandon's passion for fedoras. So
yes,
that's something to consider. Lazy James, what's up? Man, I'm glad you think the shirt is hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get it available soon.
Yep. I am interested in making merch. I need to get the design down because I want to get like a actual good design for my logo and things like that. So I'm good friends with an artist that I could probably get to do some designs. So I might make some merch too eventually. I just want something that's like really good, like what you got something that looks real nice.
Thank you.
So I gotta match that standard.
Yeah.
Setting the bar high, I gotta.
That'd be pretty cool.
Match it.
Well, I mean, like, so my goal was like, because most graphical tees are sold on the internet, it's just kind of like the one thing here, right? But I have this and the stuff in the back, like that's extra stuff that I can't just do with a typical website. So like my brother is basically starting like his own little printing press sort of company. So we have like a printer and a heat press. So like we make the shirts ourselves, right? Which takes work. Obviously, we have to buy all the materials and things like that. But it's what's enabling us to create more unique designs.
Right.
So, yeah, but it's cool you have that friend there. Hopefully, you can get something going, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's going on here? Terry, hopefully Game Freak doesn't tell you can't sell that because of the Charmander silhouette, even though it's a bandana Charmander. Well, I mean, there's a lot of liberties. I've changed the design significantly, so I'm pretty sure I'm fine. Yeah, fedoras are awesome.
Yeah.
Alexander Christopher, yes, I was. I want to ask the case for another very niche character, but even less possible character than AC's Astral Chain's I wasn't sure which AC, Assassin's Creed, Animal Crossing. It's Astral Chain's Howard twins, but Nintendo may or may not want to push it, but I'll wait a little. Who is it? Who's this other niche character?
No, he's talking about the Astral Chain twins.
Wait, let me read. Yes, I was. I want to ask the case for another very niche character, but even less possible character than Astral Chain's Howard's twins, but Nintendo may not want to push it, but I'll wait a little.
Oh, so he's gonna wait a little to say what it is? Okay.
Matt the Gaming, off-topic comment. Do you know Mickey Mouse will enter the public domain in 2023? I don't know. Oh, did you know? Oh, that's really interesting.
I feel like that won't happen. I mean, that might be when the copyright ends, but they'll probably renew it.
Yeah.
I doubt Disney would just let go of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, interesting. Project Sean
That's
Nader.
like Mario just end up being in the public domain somehow. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Well, that'd be kind of nuts. Prashanator, who released all the ghosts in Luigi's 3 this time that I have to know? Professor Egad's the true villain. The truth is, he just wants to experiment with his ghosts and learn more, so he's actually doing bad things.
I would not doubt that.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me.
Lazy James likes the quality. Sweet. Terry Severson, Disney will obviously renew the copyright for Mickey Mouse. I have to believe that will probably happen.
That my mind would be blown if they did not. That would make no sense.
Yeah. So, in terms of Pokemon Sword and Shield, I hope there's... I mean, we both believe there's probably some sort of counterpart. Will it be a ghost type to match with the exclusive Ghost Gym? Hard to say. Sirfetch'd is awesome. Maybe it'll be Dunsparce, maybe it'll be Shuckle, maybe it's something we don't see coming. I have to imagine we'll find out soon, because they just revealed one Pokemon. Like, we have not learned that much about the game, and we're less than 2 months away. We're less than 2 months away from Sword and Shield. November 15th, right? Today is September 23rd, so we got less than 2 months, man. 7 weeks, and the game's coming out. I'm excited, and I still have to play Link's Awakening, right? I still have the 100% Astral Chain, and then obviously Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming out in October.
That game's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and I might want to pick up some sort of other game, maybe that Goose game actually. It looks kind of charming, the Untitled Goose game.
Yeah, everybody is obsessed with that game. I've seen some gameplay of it. I mean, it looks interesting, but I don't understand why it's like this internet sensation.
Yeah. So let's talk about. Well, I mean, I think it's just because it's so like awkward and cute that people are just like, hey, that's funny.
I mean, it's funny, just like randomly just running around tormenting people.
From what I've seen, it seems like you can kind of like really, like, there's a fair bit of interaction with what you can do. Like, it's not just, you can kind of interact with a lot with the goose. I want to call him a duck, but I guess he's a goose. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Link's Awakening. So, how do you feel about the game, man?
It's great. I'm loving playing another 2D Zelda. It's been a bit. I haven't played a 2D Zelda game since Link Between Worlds, so it's been a few years. And I am on, so far, I think the fifth dungeon, yeah.
Wow. You're far.
I'm like halfway through the game, I think. Something like that. Well, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
A little less.
I am not nearly as far as you are. I'm only one dungeon in. I'm currently looking for Bow Wow. I don't know where he is. I'm looking for him. I went to the swamp and realized that there was something I can't do there. I got the game yesterday.
You have to have him.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had the game day one. So.
But like, it's interesting to me. Like, well, one, because I'm playing this game for the first time, right? I didn't play the 1993 or 98 versions, so this is basically like a new 2D Zelda for me, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm finding the music to be really charming. The characters are really interesting. Like, there was that raccoon, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played the game yet, but when I saw what happened with the raccoon, I was like, what? I did not see that coming. That was so... I thought he was just going to get, like, angry when I threw the dust on him, right? And that he would just, like, scamper away and I could just, like, continue forward. No, that's not what happened. I'm not going to say what happens, but that's not what happened, and it surprised me. It was just... Yeah,
I was surprised, too.
Yeah. And what I've noticed is that as you do things in the game, like, the characters in that town, like, the plot progresses. Like, different things are kind of happening with them. Like, it's... Link's Awakening is like the Majora's Mask before the Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I love how the actual environments like change as you play the game. Like, that's a big problem I have with Breath of the Wild, is it feels like nothing in the world itself really changes that much as you're playing through the game.
Well, there is that one town.
Right. Obviously there's that, but in this game, as you're going through, like, characters change. They'll just be in different parts of the world doing different things that are sometimes good for side quests or story, and like, things change. Like in Breath of the Wild, Like nobody cares.
That would be an interesting. That's an
Ganon's,
interesting
like,
thing, though.
uphill
I think it kind of takes us back to our original speculation for the DLC at one point, where they would do like a restoration project, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is totally a theory video in the works, but like, so when you think about it, right? At the end of Breath of the Wild, both Link and Zelda go out to restore Hyrule. They say that verbatim, right? Well, not. I'm paraphrasing, but
right.
they say that that's what they're going to do. So there's that in mind. But then with all of the DLC and considering all of the ruins throughout Breath of the Wild and how destroyed it is, it makes sense that, you know, they could have done something with that, right? And I have to wonder if that was a DLC idea, right? And they've talked about how they had a whole bunch of DLC ideas, and because of all of those DLC ideas, they decided to turn it into a whole other sequel. So, what if one big aspect, and because we know we're already returning to Hyrule, how can you sort of make Hyrule fresh and a new experience again? One way is to make it a rebuilding project. And that would sort of satisfy your sort of qualm you're illustrating here, right? Because throughout Breath of the Wild, most of the world wouldn't change too much in terms of plot progression.
Right.
With this, as you explore and do more in the game, you'll be restoring different parts of the town. And like the Terry Town thing, imagine that, but for most of the ruins.
And that was
in the world of Hyrule.
Definitely by far my favorite side quest in the game.
Yeah, it was epic.
I've heard some people, you know, they don't like it because they found it too late. The earlier you find that side quest, the more fun it is because you're traveling around the world. Because if you find it at the end of the game and you're just warping to find people, that's boring. But if you find it like early and then you're just running around just exploring naturally and you find the characters, it's much more interesting.
Yeah.
Which would obviously be how it worked in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, there are two towns.
Exploring and finding the towns.
There are two towns that you can beat the entire game. And, well, you can actually beat the entire game without going to any town, technically. Right? But if you beat the game the traditional way, by defeating the Divine Beast and such, you can still skip two towns in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you can even skip the Kakariko Village as well.
Yeah, you could skip that.
But the game sort of directs you there multiple times.
But you don't have to.
I guess technically you could skip Hateno too.
Yeah, you can skip. Yeah.
But again, the game steers you in those directions. My point is the game's like story quest steers you in the direction of 6 different towns or villages. There's 2 others that you just have to find, right? One of them is the one you build. The other one is the offshore one. I forgot the name of it. The one on the seaside.
The one people think is based off of the
outside island.
Yeah, outside island.
Yeah, I forget the name of it though.
I feel like it starts with an L, but
I don't remember. Lana, I don't remember. But you guys don't know what I'm talking. There's like basically a beach town in the southeastern part of Hyrule.
Is it called Laurelin Village?
Yeah, Lurelin, like a lure. There you go.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah, good job. I'm so proud of you. Remembering things.
Big brain time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, going back to Link's Awakening though, like I just kind of love how all of the characters are so interesting and the music's so charming.
Right.
I'm just enjoying exploring the world and I'm having fun with that.
The music is amazing. Like I could not, but like I knew they were gonna redo all the music and I knew it'd be good, but this is like incredible. Like the audio, the quality of the audio too, because we've had a lot of games on the Switch where the quality of the audio is okay, but it kind of sounds a little compressed to save space. This does not sound compressed at all. Like this is some of the best audio quality I've heard on the Switch. There's just so much, the range of sound and instruments. It's just so good. Like, and there's a real good bass to it too in some of the different tracks. Like the range of audio is incredible. I was not expecting it to be that good. I was expecting it to be good, obviously. Zelda games, all Zelda games have excellent music, but this is like one of the best, honestly, in terms of just pure audio quality. Definitely for the 2D games, this is probably the best soundtrack, to be honest, in my opinion.
I think it's strong. Just the village, like it's very peaceful and soothing. Like I just sat there for a fair bit just cutting grass, and then kind of every time I get in the village, I just kind of cut grass and listen to the peaceful music.
I definitely used the big grass patch as a grinding area for the claw machine.
Money. So you can play the claw machine, which I love, by the way. The claw game is fantastic. I've had a lot of fun with that. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm having a great time with the game.
It's rigged as hell, but it's fun.
Is it?
It feels like you're supposed to do multiple attempts.
Oh.
And it's easier if the more money you have, because you can try over and over again and get closer.
And you get it closer and closer.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like. I don't feel like, oh my god, this is so unfair.
Each one only took me like 2 or 3 attempts.
Okay. I mean,
so it's not like ridiculous.
Seems pretty much on par with my experience.
Yeah.
I've had some moments where I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I was able to do that. Like on stream last night, that's right, I'm streaming games again. It's happening. I try to do it on Sundays. So, but, yeah, like there's just at one point on stream where I really want to get the 50 rupees. There was a 50 rupee, but I screwed up because it was my first time, or second time. And it just messed up because I thought by pressing, just because I just didn't have a good handle on how to advance it, so I just kind of like pressed A for like a moment and it stopped, and I was like, oh crap, I can't go to the right anymore. But I still had an opportunity to get the red rupee that was moving in the back, because in the back there's moving platforms, which are kind of harder, right? Because there's timing involved.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I was thinking, oh my god, I have to time this perfectly. So I did it right when it passed by. Or not when it passed by, when I thought that my claw would get there and it would pass by. I did that, but what I failed to take into account is that it keeps moving.
For it to open.
Yes, it keeps moving. So I was like, shit, I'm screwed. I didn't realize that it would keep moving. But because of how slow it was, it left and came back right as the claw came down to pick it up, and I got the red rupee, and thus had more money to continue playing. So
I actually
didn't
go for the rupees just because I was like, I'm gonna end up losing more money than I'm gonna get.
Right,
back
it's risk versus reward.
I just went for the Yoshi doll and the art container.
If you go back, there's more stuff. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and see.
There's probably a whole bunch of stuff that you can continually get there. Mm-hmm. Which I'm glad, because I really like playing that game. It's fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But,
I will say, the game feels like a Game Boy game in terms of like the content. It's definitely a lot more simple than the other, like Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds. It's a lot more simple than those in its design. Also, the enemies are a lot of them are very repetitive. Like, they're just the same enemies, but different. They just look different. They're just reskins. And even a lot of them are like just different colors, but they have the exact same health and patterns. Like, what's the point of this character?
It's interesting that you say that, because you're further into the game than me, right? You said you're 5 dungeons in, I'm 1 dungeon, and I've beaten 1 dungeon. I'm working my way to the 2nd dungeon, I guess. But like for me, what I'm really appreciating is that, like, for example, the moblins, like the ones that have shields, like there's some combat mechanics that have been put into there that I don't think were there beforehand, like with the shield and stuff. Like, you have to parry the shield first to then hit them. So I kind of like that they add a little bit more nuance to that, and I like that.
I like it. The problem is there's 3 different skins that I've run into that do the exact same thing and have the exact same health.
Okay. So
literally, I think maybe one of them's slightly faster, but that could just be me. It could just be placebo or something. So I think it's just 3 different reskins that act exactly the same. That's my problem. Isn't that the enemies are bad? There's just not a lot of variety when you get into it.
I get it, and I haven't been that far into the game, so I can't really speak to that point. But there's so much going on with the actual characters. They're so lively. The world's so lively and vibrant. How do you feel with the frame rate? And then after we talk about the frame, I want to check one of the chat, because there's a fair bit of conversation there. Some questions.
The frame rate is very annoying, but it doesn't actually usually affect the gameplay. Like, I've never gotten hurt or missed something because of the frame rate.
Did you get the game physical or digital?
Physically.
So I heard some speculation that if you get it digitally, you won't run into the same issues. The frame rate issues won't be as bad. I have the game digitally, and I've noticed frame rate stutter a couple times, but it isn't significant at all for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's just like every time I enter a new area, it takes several seconds for it to return.
Yeah, that is not at all the issue with me.
It's not like it could be
see,
like
this premise is several
sometimes.
seconds. Yeah, that just sounds ridiculous to me. Like, there was a couple times where I noticed it for like a second. A second.
And I don't even understand why it would be different digitally versus physically, to be honest.
I think it has more to do with just like how it's like reading data, right? Reading and loading data. It's not like a horsepower issue.
Right. I don't see why that'd be the bottleneck.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 2D. It's a 2.5D game. This is not an open world game with, you know, like tons of particle effects and enemies on screen. Like, yes, the world is fairly animated. You know, there are using some nice graphical effects. It's in 60 frames per second, 1080p, or most of the time 1080p or something. But my point is that it's a beautiful game, but it's not like the most graphically demanding game. So
the game doesn't seem to have any issue running the content that's on screen, except when you're either transitioning areas or that one particular swamp for some reason has actual frame rate drops. The other thing, my thought was, because when you move between different areas, there's actually like pre-baked lighting transitions. So essentially it pre-calculates how the light from the sun would bounce off of different items and color it differently, and shadow and stuff, but it's not like real time like something you'd see like in ray tracing. It's like pre-calculated, so it has to switch when you switch an area. It needs to switch those different pre-calculated lighting, and I was wondering if that's what was the issue, because that's not something that's typically done in this kind of game.
I don't know.
And I was wondering if they have issues loading that for some reason.
Because
as soon as everything loads, it's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. The exact same content can be on screen, the exact same amount of enemies, effects. It doesn't matter. It's just that transition between areas.
I guess it's they wanted to be a seamless transition, and it's not, or it is, but in order to have it, it's a low frame rate for a little while.
The other issue is that they
But I think with optimization, they can patch that out. Like, I find it hard to believe that they can't fix that.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually that much of a frame rate issue. The problem is the way they have it set up. Essentially,
I think it shoots down to 30, right? Like, automatically.
Right, yeah. They have double buffered VSync, so if it's gonna drop even a single frame, it drops 30, no matter what.
Isn't that kind of like dumb?
Yes, it is. I have no idea why anybody uses double
that's like a
buffer
dramatic
VSync anymore. Because they have different versions, like triple buffer VSync doesn't do that, and they have adaptive VSync.
You using all these terminologies, and I'm just like, everything somebody's flying over my head.
See, like, I need to go and study it a bit more because I don't know exactly how triple buffered works, but all I know is it doesn't have that problem.
Okay.
It can fluctuate in between.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the blur at the bottom of the screen? Kind of annoys me, to be honest with you. Like, I've gotten used to it, but it...
Right. It's almost shift blur.
It kind of feels like I have a lens that's dirty.
I don't get that impression. It's just a depth of field effect. I like it. I think it looks good.
I wish it wasn't as big. Like, for me, it's almost like the top, like, 15-20% of the screen is, like, the bottom part is just all blur. And just like, eh.
It could be the top or the bottom, depending on what. I don't actually know what it depends on.
Yeah, like there are parts where I think it looks cool. Like, for example, when you're on the left side of the island and you can see, like, the cliffs and you can see the ocean down below, then I'm like, oh, that looks nice. But, like, for some reason, just like when I'm moving across screen, the blur at the bottom is a little annoying. Like,
I don't actually usually notice it. I guess I don't look.
Well, I'll admit that I've gotten a little bit more used to it, right? But at the beginning, I was just like, okay, that's kind of weird for me.
I never was bothered by it. I barely even noticed it, honestly. I barely remember it's there.
So, I actually I'm really enjoying the game. I'm thinking very highly of it, and I've even said that the frame rate thing's not an issue for me, but I download the game digitally, so I may not be running to the issue as much. One other little nitpick is like, so aliasing is when you can see the jaggies, right? Like the little pixely angles. Yeah. I can see that in this game. Like I was kind of hoping it would be like.
It's a Nintendo game. You see them in every Nintendo game.
Yeah, I was just kind of hoping.
Because no Nintendo games have anti-aliasing because Nintendo hates that effect for some reason.
Whatever, it's fine. The game's still beautiful. So, yeah. But I want to get to the chat. Go on.
I was just gonna say it's not that big of a deal. The resolution's pretty high, so. And there's a lot of effects that cover it up pretty well, just naturally, like the depth of field and stuff. I don't think it's that big of an issue in this game.
Overall, I think the game looks great, so I'm not really having too many issues.
The grass, I think, is the problem with the aliasing. Is the worst. It's also an issue in Breath of the Wild, to be honest. It's a big issue.
I didn't know it was as much in that game. So, but yeah. So where are you here in the chat? Let's see. 764. So just curious, how long is the game?
From what I hear, 15 to 20 hours, 100%.
To 100% it.
If you've never played it before.
When you say 100%, you mean collecting all of the heart pieces and shells.
Yeah, heart pieces, shells, everything. From what I've heard. But I don't know if the people have played the game before or not. So, like, if they've played the original, they kind of know what to do. Maybe if you haven't played the game at all, it might take you
There's longer. Like, what, like 9 dungeons in the game? Or like 9 or 10?
I think it's...
If you count the color dungeon.
8 or... I think it's 8, including the color dungeon. Because isn't there 7 instruments?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Yeah, this isn't like a super long Zelda game.
No.
It's definitely it's not short, but it's not super long. But it's very charming and it's very fun to play. Let me see here. Alexander, will you consider making your own custom fedora hat? Yeah, I mean, I would totally buy that with the bandana Charmander. Hot, hot, hot. So, I think that's a great idea. I could see myself eventually having a fedora hat. Right now, I'll focus on getting this initial shirt design out. Maybe have some alternate colors come out after that. Then maybe by wintertime we'll have some hoodies. Maybe... Yeah, there's a lot of different things that go about this, but I really like that fedora idea. I think that's something that should be considered. Yeah. Project Shawnator, Rayman Frozen in Battlefield and Smash Bros. Ultimate. That it looks like that, but it could just be our minds playing tricks on us. Our eyes playing tricks on our minds. Matt to Gaming. It's great that we got a new 2D Zelda, but it still kind of sucks that it's a remake rather than a new game. I mean, I see your point, but I'm personally happy that it's happened because I never played that before. It's been years since it's happened. And I mean, a new game would have been harder to get out, right? Remakes are a little bit easier to get done. Like, because it was a remake, Nintendo, they would just trust Grezzo to do it, right? Like Grezzo, they've done Majora's Mask 3D, Ocarina of Time 3D. They also did Ever Oasis on the 3DS, which I don't think sold very well, unfortunately. But it was basically kind of like a Zelda game, actually, but it was a 3D Zelda game. Kind of like, but it was set
like Fantasy Life, actually,
in the desert.
If anybody's played Fantasy Life, which is like my favorite 3DS game, but I feel like nobody's ever played it.
No, man.
So
maybe we should play over Oasis. But yeah, Grezzo's pretty talented, but they usually are. They've done their best work with remakes.
Remake on 3DS.
They might have.
Or was that somebody else?
They might have. I just want to fact check that.
Were they also the ones that did Star Fox 3D?
I'm gonna fact check all this right now. Just want to be sure. Okay, so yes. I'll show you again. All right, here we go. Line Attack Heroes 2010. I don't know what the hell that is. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D 2011. Four Swords Anniversary Edition, DSiWare. Okay, they were busy. Street Pass Garden 2013. Legend of Legacy. Okay, whatever. Majora's Mask 3D and Triforce Heroes, apparently both by Grezzo 2015. Wow. Alliance Alive, Ever Oasis 2017. Luigi's Mansion last year, and now Link's Awakening. So, Ever Oasis, Luigi's Mansion, yeah, the 3D Zelda games. So, you know, they have a decent track record there. But mostly, it seems like their best work has come from remakes. So, you know, I would my point simply is that having Grezzo handle that allowed the Zelda team to work on something else. We're getting Breath of the Wild 2 fairly soon, right? Brandon and I think it could come out as early as holiday 2020 next year, right? So we're still more than a year away from that, right? But my point is that at least now we finally have seen footage already for Breath of the Wild 2. If the Zelda team also had to work on a 2D Zelda game, that might not be feasible. So having remakes that Grezzo can handle, it allows us to get another 3D Zelda sooner. And maybe there still is a way to pull out another 2D Zelda in the future. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Where are we in the chat here? Product Shiner, does that Master Sword glow in the dark?
No.
It does not glow in the dark. Well, we should fix that. No, can you imagine if you had like a Master Sword replica from Breath of the Wild? Because when it lights up? Oh my god, that'd be epic. That's gotta exist somewhere.
Cool. Somebody's gotta have made it.
So what are our most wanted DLC characters? We will be getting to that topic shortly, because that's literally our final topic. So we'll get to that in a bit. Cypher Blade. Two-handed Blade Fierce Lady Link should have been a Smash character. If there's gotta be another Link, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Ray J, it's going to be my first Zelda game awakening no matter what. I want to be a Zelda fan. Okay. I think that's a good goal. You should definitely become a Zelda fan. Saba64, I hope the Oroku games get a remake one day. What were you saying, Brandon?
I said yes, join the fold.
Join it! Become a Zelda fan!
Join our cult!
Zelda fans are the best fans. Product Shawnator, is Sakurai going to be doing a Dragon Quest live stream on the 26th or 27th? I heard Dragon Quest is coming on the 27th. I'm not sure about the date. I have no... Sakurai doing a Dragon Quest live stream?
Would do one.
Don't know about that.
I don't like...
Sakurai, the greatest content creator, does streams.
Dude, imagine.
Yeah. Rage, I wish Nintendo ports Link Between Worlds on Switch.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, it might be my favorite 2D Zelda, actually.
It's up there, yeah.
Minish Cap, might be my favorite 2D Zelda.
Minish Cap would be good for
remake,
honestly.
Project Shawnator.
That's a really good game.
Yeah, it really is. If that I might want to see get a remake. Or actually, you know what? I want more of the Oracle games to get a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We're talking about remakes. I might as well plug. I have a video coming out tomorrow. 5 remakes I want on the Switch, so wait for that. I was inspired by how good Link's Awakening is. I was like, you know what? What other remakes should we get?
Like Captain Rainbow.
Yes, that was definitely on the list.
Geist. Odama.
I don't even know what these are.
Oh, they were GameCube classics.
Oh yes.
Classics. They were actually like some of the... Odama was not a bad game. Or just not hugely popular. Radio, paying $60 for Zelda Awakening to see my girl Peach cameo was worth it. I'm a Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina fanboy. That's alright. I was gonna say Disney princesses. Of all the Nintendo princesses, I really am a big fan of Rosalina. I think you can't call Samus a princess. She's a warrior. I would say Zelda, one of the Zelda, my favorite Nintendo princess is either Skyward Sword Zelda or Breath of the Wild Zelda. I think Breath of the Wild
Tetra's
Zelda...
pretty awesome.
She is pretty cool. You're entitled to your own opinion, Brandon. But for me, I like those two Zeldas more.
Okay. Honestly, Tetra's probably my favorite, and then Skyward Sword Zelda's my second favorite.
I think I like Breath of the Wild Zelda
Especially
most
with the story.
because she's a nerd with a big butt. Yep. That's just me being honest. So, yep. Also, but Rosalina, though, in the motorcycle, she's dope. Yeah. In Mario Kart. Oh, yeah. Saba64, how do you guys like the 2D levels? So, it's interesting, in Link's Awakening, like, the 2D side-scrolling levels, I think they're really cool. Like, when I saw the Goombas, it was very surreal. I also thought it was cool that you can kind of look up and you can even jump once you get Rock's Feather and, like, do a spin slash in the air. So, that's pretty neat. Cool. Yeah.
I think they're okay. They're kind of fun transitions between areas. They're nothing major.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
yeah, it's at least kind of like a nice little diversion.
I will say later in the game there is some. I won't spoil it, but there's a 2D segment that's actually a lot more in depth. I won't say what it is, but there's once you get a few dungeons in, if you guys have played it before, you know what I'm talking about. So more than just a transition room for 2D, which is pretty cool.
Well, I guess we'll see.
You have to wait and see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Once you get further in the game.
Gotta play Link's Awakening. 74 added me, and he added you as well, Brandon. It would be nice if the physical version had a reversible art cover that had the box art from the Game Boy box art. Oh.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah. Let me see here. Alexander Baruso. Have you guys played Mario Maker 2 recently? I played for the first 2 weeks and never touched it again. I don't know why. I know why, actually. Because Fire Emblem Three Houses came out. And then once we were done with Fire Emblem Three Houses, Astral Chain came out. And once we were done with Astral Chain, Link's Awakening came out. And now we're here.
I stopped playing it because I just couldn't. I was just too much torment.
I'll go back to it. I'm gonna go back to it, Mario Maker.
I probably will.
I've just
probably
been
end
busy.
up doing more streams.
Yeah. And literally that's why for me, and I think that's probably why for a lot of people. It's just one big Nintendo game after the next. And Fire Emblem's long. Fire Emblem's a really long game, so that kind of carried me. Like I had played that a lot for
I'm still only 20 hours in that game.
Oof. Man, I'm surprised, bro. You should. I don't want to say I'm disappointed in you. I'm more like disappointed for you because.
Yeah.
I thought you would get more into it.
I think I would if I tried to replay it. It's just those 20 hours of me being generally fairly bored. It just really ruined the experience for me. Like the game's way too slow to open, to be honest. It's bad. Like that'd be a terrible game to replay, to be honest. Horrible.
Well, what's interesting is that a lot
Even
of people
the first
do
time
replay
through,
it.
it's not that interesting.
People replay it all the time because there's 4 different storylines.
I will say that if the New Game Plus is pretty good, but if I had to replay it without New Game Plus, like that would suck.
Okay. You know, you
It's not even fun.
You can
honestly,
skip. You can
yeah.
skip the monastery
Yeah,
segments.
but you don't get all the rewards, and I feel like it's kind of necessary if you want to stay leveled up and get everybody good.
Well, so here's the thing. I think there's a way to. You can still do the monastery segments, but without it being like too time consuming. Like you just talk to the characters you need to talk to, take out the waifus you want to fall in love with you, and then go to war.
Seems like I don't want to do any of that. I just want to get to
Okay, take out the dudes. Whatever, man. Just whatever you want. Just take out. Ask someone out to tea. Eat lunch with your bros and your sisses, and just
It
doesn't have to be romantic. You can only pick one.
No,
There's like 50 characters. You don't have to.
It's just I was just genuinely bored. I've never been 20 hours in a game and had that little story development. Like it's bad. I don't like that.
But so, I get what you mean in terms of the main story. It does progress slow in the beginning, but for me, I got really into the characters and learning about the world and learning about their stories, and that's what you sort of get earlier on in the game. You're just basically living the school life with these students. I do understand how like the combat is not as prevalent in the beginning. It gets more extent. Like there's a lot more combat to be had in the later game. Like as the game progresses, there's more and more fights you can do. So I get that, but yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses is really good. You should give it a chance.
Yeah, I keep sitting down like, hey,
look, man, just do it. Just do what's fun for you. The game is flexible. You don't have to do it in this way or that way. Just do what's fun for you. If it's not fun for you,
OCD's like, bro, there's a side quest. Bro.
I know the feeling.
There's like 20 characters. You have to talk to them all because some of them might get you some slight something.
After a certain point, you kind of learn. Okay, I don't really need that. I can do this. Like you get a better understanding of how to what to prioritize. But let's continue on with the chat. If I can find where I was. Terry Silverton, I don't have Link's Awakening, but from what I've seen, I find it cool that there are various Mario enemies, including Wart. Yeah, there's a lot of Mario enemies, man. It's surreal, dude. It's really cool. It's
cool.
really, really cool. Mastermind. I'm debating if I should get Link's Awakening, but I'll get on the next check, but it gave me hope for Oracle of Ages and Seasons. I really kind of am in full agreement with you, Mastermind, that they should remake those games. Like, those are really cool games. At least from what I've heard. I didn't actually get to play those games. Like, maybe
they're very highly rated. I did some research for tomorrow's video. Spoilers. But it is a 92 on Metacritic, and the Oracle games are the second highest rated 2D
and that was
Zelda games.
Made by Capcom.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
The only 2D Zelda game that's rated higher than Oracle games is Link to the Past.
The original. Yeah. Whenever I hear Link to the Past, my brain says Link Between Worlds, but those are two different games. So for me, the only Zelda games I haven't played at this point are the Oracle games and the CD. Those don't even. I should not even mention that. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I missed anything else. I've played Zelda 1. I haven't beaten it. I got to the last dungeon and I lost my save file. So
I've gone like 2 or 3 dungeons into the original. I've barely played the second one. And then the Oracle games.
Zelda 2 is ridiculous. Yeah, Zelda 2 is ridiculous. Although, I might try and do it with my the NES Online.
Yeah, once I beat...
Because you have the save states.
Right. Once I beat Super Metroid on the channel, I might Let's Play Zelda 2.
Yeah, just to punish yourself.
Because I hate myself.
Of course, Link to the Past. Right. Minish Cap. I haven't beaten Minish Cap, though. So I need to go back and beat Minish Cap.
I have 100% beaten Minish Cap. Every single last part.
And I haven't played the Oracle games. But then after that, Wind Waker, of course, Ocarina of Time, yeah, Majora's Mask, yes, Twilight Princess, yes, Skyward Sword, yes, Breath of the Wild, yes, A Link Between Worlds, yes. Not Triforce Heroes, I don't really count that, though.
I played the demo for Triforce Heroes.
Yeah, I played a Four Swords demo at one point.
I haven't played Four Swords at all.
Yeah, I kind of consider Four Swords and Triforce Heroes
honestly,
spin-offs.
They should remake Four Swords so that it's actually, like, playable. Without so much freaking hardware. Like, that'd be a great game for the Switch, honestly.
Be nice to see. Yeah, I agree. 764. It would have been nice if the... Oh, I'm sorry, I read your comment already, but I still agree with it. The reversible art cover from the original box art from the Game Boy, yeah, that would be really cool.
The box art for Link's Awakening is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't have it in here right now. I put it up the camera, but...
Terry Silverton saying Sakura is going to be appearing in a Dragon Quest XI S stream as a guest. So, okay, apparently this is a thing. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
I probably won't watch it. But...
Computer Robots added me. You should have finished Link's Awakening last night and canceled the podcast that you were attending. Yeah, I attended a podcast last night. It's saying it's going to be edited. I'll share it with you guys at some point when they go live with it. But maybe I'll even stream more Link's Awakening later this week. Yo, beating Link's Awakening in one entire night, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's possible.
It is. I think it is possible, for sure. Cake Man, Tetra is the best. Spirit Tracks is really great, too, because she's with you the whole game.
Technically, that's not Tetra, but...
It's Tetra. Anyway, it's Tetra's design. It's a Zelda. Right. Tetra is Zelda. But I know what you mean, Brandon.
Well, in Spirit Tracks, it's not even the same.
It's a whole other future.
So yeah.
Right.
It's 100 years in the future, so.
But it's the reincarnation of like that form of Zelda. Right. You know.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, technically, it's not the same person.
I get it. I see your point, and I do agree. But you know, what's interesting though is that it kind of reminds me of another theory video that's in the works about Zelda being playable to some extent, or a companion character in Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Maybe. I kind of see it happening.
I made a video.
You did. You definitely made a video on that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's possible.
Okay.
I think there's a
More
lot of
than
reasons.
possible? Do you think it's likely?
I think there's a
would you
lot
bet
of
money
reasons to believe it could happen. I would not bet money, but I don't bet money on anything.
If you had money, would you bet?
Money. I don't want.
If you had money that you didn't care to lose, would you bet on it? Okay,
sure.
Forget the money. If you had to make a prediction, like gun to your head, happening or not happening, what are you saying? If you get it wrong, you die.
Happening in some way.
To some capacity. I'm right there with you. To some capacity.
I actually don't remember exactly what my conclusions were in that video, but I'm pretty sure I said it was likely, and there was reasons, but it was
yeah, there's a lot of reasons.
It was months ago, so exactly.
Like I remember the whole like female Link conversation when they first teased Zelda U.
I think Aonuma was the one who said he wanted to make a multiplayer Zelda.
At some point.
A Zelda that you could play as Link, or Zelda game where you could play as Zelda.
Yeah, like exactly, like talking about making Zelda playable. That's been discussed before. So yeah, maybe computer robots at us. What if I told you guys that multiple Links and Zeldas are the one and the same character respectively and reincarnated through time?
Yep. Then I would say, yeah, that's like how it works.
So I think there's debate on that, if whether they are the same Link and Zelda, or just like carrying like that same spiritual mission, you know?
Right.
Like, hard to say. Personality-wise, Zelda's different personality-wise throughout the different games.
Link's a bit different depending on the game. Like, I wouldn't say Wind Waker Link has the same personality as Twilight Princess Link.
I see your point with that. And they are called, like, different heroes. Not to mention in Twilight Princess, there are literally 2 different Links in the game.
But in reincarnation, you don't necessarily have to have the same personality, exactly.
Right, but what I'm saying is if
that.
Okay, but in Twilight Princess, there is the hero of the wild, right?
Right.
And then there is the hero of time, who is a skeleton, who teaches you techniques.
Right.
He is kind of like your mentor in the game. It's 2 different Links communicating with each other. So, if you believe that they are the same person, how is the same person there twice?
Right. I guess not then. I don't really know.
Unless you believe in parallel universes.
Yeah, I guess that could be.
Maybe?
I don't think. No. I don't know how that would work.
Unless they lied to you and that's not Link. But I think it's Link because it's confirmed as Link. So.
Link. Yeah, it's Link.
Computer Rots, I don't think you're crazy. Well, I don't know.
Crazy.
You might be. I have no idea. You could be crazy.
Probably crazy.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think you're crazy.
I'm gonna say yes.
That's my prediction. You're not. Mastermind. Fire Emblem Three Houses was okay. I still think Awakening was better, in my opinion. Their soundtrack was amazing. I like the soundtrack for both games a lot so far.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand. Lazy James, what are you referring to? Do it. I almost gave it to Brandon, but then I once pressed through. It was worth it. You're talking about Fire Emblem?
Yeah, he was talking about Fire Emblem.
Yeah. No, man. I think, Brandon, you really should.
I'll try.
Don't give up. Cypherblade, you want a 2D side-scrolling Zelda game? Well, if Zelda 2 is ever remade, play that. Or you could punish yourself and play Zelda 2. The best, the worst Zelda. It is not counting the CDI games, it is the worst Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, by far. There's just no...
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Let me see here. Computer Robots is telling you to stop being so pricky, Brandon. With Fire Emblem, just finish Fire Emblem. Finish it.
Yeah. I've just, every time I'm just like, I could do something. I could play Fire Emblem, or I could do like 5 other things that I actually want to do.
I mean, look, I've been meaning to do at least one more playthrough of Fire Emblem, but there's just so much for me to play and do. It's hard. I beat it once. I put in like 75 hours, so I think it was actually closer to 70. I did at least 70 hours. Star 64, and those games came out in 2001, a Game Boy Color. That's crazy. Yeah, you're talking about the Oracle games, right? Yeah, the Oracle games are really good. I'm gonna scroll down to the chat. because we're gonna move on to the Smash DLC wishlist, guys. So, but I'll just read the last couple of things you guys are saying here. Hello there, Cheeseman. You're getting Link's Awakening tomorrow. The frame rate is not that bad for me. I got it digitally, and it's not bad for me. I've noticed a couple frame drops here and there. It's not really big, just for a moment. For Brandon, apparently it lasts for like 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, if you leave a house, if you go to a new area, the swamp runs really bad just all the time. But it's just such a small area.
So my personal recommendation is get the game digitally then, because
apparently it just runs better.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and from my personal experience, I'm not having these frame rate. Like, it has happened a little, but like for a second or two here and there. So you know, maybe my Switch is just more powerful than yours.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Defective.
My day one Switch that makes a lot of noise. Maybe it makes a lot of noise because it's always working harder. Look at this. I was gonna say that I think there's something to that, but not actually. Anyway.
Probably not.
Terry Severson watched that in Breath of the Wild, so you end up having to protect Zelda, and she doesn't do anything to fight back, and the game is one huge escort mission.
I highly doubt that.
I kind of want that to happen. Not really,
no.
But
God, no.
No, it would be cooler if it's kind of like in God of War, where the character is just like a companion character just continually powering up, getting stronger, and becomes kind of like a combo character to your own attacks. Like, imagine if Zelda was like your mage or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, she could be.
That'd be awesome.
I definitely don't want her to be like this defenseless person, though.
No. She's got to be able to do something if she's playing along with you. Computer robots added me, but the Hero of Time version of Link is dead, meaning his soul could be departed to the Twilight Princess Link.
I mean, but his soul.
I mean, I guess if you mean like it's kind of like an internal thing where your own memories are trying to teach you something. Okay, I see what you maybe mean by that. See, you're not crazy. That's logical. Is it the case though? I don't know, it's debatable. Yes, thank you, Alexander Christopher Hernandez, for correcting me. Twilight Princess Link is called the Hero of the Twilight. The Hero of the Wild is Breath of the Wild Link. Right, which I think does go to show the point that they're kind of like different links. You got the Hero of the Wild, Hero of the Time, Hero of the Winds. So, yeah. Cypherblade, yeah, Twilight Princess playable Link is a descendant, not reincarnation. Yeah.
Is he?
Well, I think it just kind of like, depending on how you define the words, I just think he means it's like not the same Link. It's a new Link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant a descendant of the other Link. I'm like, what? Is that confirmed?
Sassy4, you guys should watch Angry Video Games Nerds video on Zelda 2. It's hilarious. I might have seen that. I don't know, but I know Angry Video Gamers. They're pretty funny. Yeah, probably just rage on Zelda 2 the whole time. So you should check it out, man. It's funny. But let's move on to the final topic for the night. Our Smash DLC wish list. So, kind of cobbled this idea up last minute. Sorry. But, obviously, Masahiro Sakurai confirmed that more DLC is coming beyond the Fighter's Pass. So, I think, in order to... We have to decide, like, some parameters here, Brandon, right? I want you to work with me on this.
Okay.
How should we go about this wish list? Should we assume there's another Fighter's Pass, right? And this is just what we want, like our ideal Fighter's Pack. Or do you want to just, like, go into just saying exactly how you want the DLC to play out, like in your perfect Smash world?
Right. That is a good question. See, I could see another Fighter's Pass, but I could also see just... Because the way they just say it is, they don't say another Fighter's Pass. They just say there's more DLC, which could mean more, brand new characters, and echoes, and random other things that could be DLC. Like, they could just have a Mii costume pack. Like, they don't have to do what they've been doing. So maybe we should account for that and You know, just kind of say what we want instead of assuming that it has to be in the formula of a fighter's pass.
Okay, so then let's just completely roll with what we want to see. What we want to see. Now, originally I was thinking that maybe we just lock it down to a specific amount of characters, right? Just to make it a little interesting in the sense, because we could just say, oh yeah, I want 50 characters, you know, like,
Right.
We could do that, but there's just so many possibilities. Like, I think maybe we should just do like a top 5 or 6 most wanted.
Okay.
Or do you want more or less?
I think that's fine.
Right. Well, 5 or 6.
5.
5. All right. So let's just
Make it
assume
even.
a new fighter's
That's not
pass.
an even number.
New fighter's pass. But this is where we make it interesting. We're each gonna give ourselves 5 characters each, right? To say for a fighter's pass. But I'm gonna challenge you to come up with something interesting for your fighter's pass that you want that's different from mine, and I just mean character-wise.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And obviously we're thinking about this on the spot. So let's just start off with our first character that we want in our fighter's pass. Do you want to go first or should I?
You go first.
Alright, I'm gonna just take away one. Oh, no, I can't. I can't. I was gonna say, oh, if I say it, you can't say it, but that's not fair. Gino. I want Gino in my ideal like wish list fighter's pass. I want Gino in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I want Gino in there, but not only do I want Gino in there, I want Gino to come to enter that fighter's pass, and I want it to be similar to the second fighter's pass where these characters have some sort of bearing on a game that's coming out within the year. So if Gino's coming, that actually is suggestive of not necessarily a remake for Super Mario RPG, but a new Mario RPG game where Gino is featured in it. Maybe it's a new Paper Mario game and Gino's just kind of been inserted into that world. That could be how it works out, but that's kind of how I would like to see a Gino inclusion in a Fighter's Pass sort of materialize.
Okay.
Yep.
But
the Gino would not be Paper Mario. I'd be so upset if
Right.
it's just like Paper Gino.
Paper Gino.
Oh man,
Oh,
that'd be
God.
I'd be disappointed. If that was
Yeah,
an
that would not
alternative
be
skin,
good.
I'd be okay with it, but I want to see like the Gino model in 3D.
Okay. My first, I have a couple. I'm just trying to decide which one should go with first.
Big one.
This is so many. I want something Xenoblade to go along with the remake, but I'm not sure who I would want to see. Dunban would be pretty awesome. Obviously, we want Rex and Pyra, but I figured that was too easy answer to go for that. You know?
Oh, it's got that's in my list. So
Yeah, right. I didn't want to put that in mind just because everybody knows we want Rex
Okay.
and Pyra. We've been saying that for like 20
Okay.
years. So Dunban would be epic. Of course, he's in the
Yeah,
Final Smash.
but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Crom's in Lucina's Final Smash.
Yep. So, and Marth? Who's in... There's another Fire Emblem character that's also playable that's in Robin's Final Smash, but I forget which one it is. I think it's Marth. No. Is it Marth?
Maybe I was wrong about Lucina. I think Robin has Crom.
Crom.
In-
Robin has Crom then.
Yeah, Lucina
Right.
doesn't have any. It's just
Yeah.
it's just
I think
the
it's
slash thing.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah.
There's playable characters in the Final
Yeah.
Smashes. So Dunban would be pretty epic to go along with the remake for
Yeah, Xenoblade
Xenoblade
Chronicles Definitive Edition makes sense.
Yeah.
And it drops around this summer.
Mm.
I'd love to see that. That'd be pretty cool. So, I'm kind of with you, but instead of it being Dunban, it's just Xenoblade 2, Rex and Pyra, but it's Rex, right? And Pyra, it's not just Pyra, it's Pyra and Mithra, and one more blade. And this blade is Elma, right? They included Elma in the DLC.
Okay.
So it's Rex, right? And he's tethered. So on screen, there's always two characters on screen at the same time. There's always Rex, and he has a tether connect, kind of like how Rosalie and Luma have that little blue-yellow line thing. It's the same thing in Xenoblade 2. The blade's always connected to the driver, right? Rex is the driver, so he'll be able to switch She'll be connected like Rosalina and Luma, where like for specials it's the blade attacking, for the A attacks it's Rex, and then sometimes they do combo attacks as they sort of build up, right? Kind of like in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, right? And then obviously the final smash is, you know, the giant mech thing. But she can switch his blades with down B like Pokemon Trainer. So he switches between Elma and Pyra and Mithra, and they each have slightly different abilities.
Honestly,
And they come out around summertime, along with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, to hype up Xenoblade. In general.
If Elma was in, I'd be... I don't know, I think it'd be weird just because it's not canon that he's there.
She's a DLC blade that you can acquire in the game.
Right, but it's not canon that she actually is there.
She's just a blade, man. It's a blade.
I would think it would be weird.
But it's my wish list, and you can't change it.
True. I just wouldn't go for Elma in that. I don't know, just have her as like a spirit or something.
I don't like Rock that much.
Yeah, I pretty cool.
It's alright. I just can't think of like a third blade that would be like, maybe you only have two blades.
Spoiler route.
Well, there is one other blade, but I don't want to say it because spoilers.
Yeah, but this is Sakurai. He doesn't care about. He doesn't care about
spoilers,
he
right?
Does not.
Yeah.
At all.
So.
He put him in.
He would put her in.
Yeah. I didn't even want to say that.
That would be cool. I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could be in too. Maybe maybe just have an Elma assist trophy.
Yeah. Oh, she could work as a good assist trophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming in a mech.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty nice.
I just think it would be weird if she was like a blade, since it's not actually canon that she's a blade.
What in the world was that? I'm sorry, my dog just yelped, like, really loudly. That's weird. He's probably fine. So, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I guess for my second one, I would love to see either Chrono from Chrono Trigger or Frog from Chrono Trigger.
You're beasting right now. It's gonna be hard for me to top that.
I'd love both, either of those characters. I think Chrono would probably be the one to get in, but I'd like to see Frog, because Frog's awesome.
Okay. Not bad, man. Not bad.
We need to see Chrono Trigger on the SNES Online. Also, if we could get Chrono Cross, a remake, or like a port of Chrono Cross, that'd be pretty awesome.
That's pretty good. So I got something to compete with that.
Okay.
So my next character is actually an assist trophy promotion. Isaac from Golden Sun gets promoted as an actual new character, and not only does he get promoted to an actual newcomer playable fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in my ideal wishlist Fighters Pass, but his new game gets promoted as well, because there's a new Golden Sun game coming to Nintendo Switch. Bitch.
See, like,
I just have to say it because it rhymed.
There's a huge hype base, or a huge fan base. I've never played Golden Sun. Never seen anybody else play Golden Sun. I know barely anything about
Nintendo renewed a trademark for Golden Sun last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So they do want the franchise, and the last one was on DS during the Wii era. It came out. I always judge things by like console eras. Like, oh, the Wii era was like that period between 2006 and 2011. So, yeah.
Somewhere a long time ago.
Yeah, but not. It's less than 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it happened. It's not like super likely, but this is a wish list. This is not a prediction list. It's different.
Right. Yeah, I see. Okay.
I want to point out that each of my characters are RPG characters. Yeah. Actually, yours are too. Yeah. Dunban, RPG. Yeah, Chrono, RPG.
Right. So far, but they're not all of the rest of them.
All right. Well, let's
I'm
see
actually
then.
making them up as I go on the list. So
all right.
I'm just like, maybe they will be.
We'll see. Now you will intentionally not count
potentially
RPG characters.
I guess Doom Guy can be my next one.
No,
I really
he's
want
gonna be the
Doom
final
Guy.
character in the Fighters
Yeah,
Pass.
he might be the final character, but assuming he's not the final character in the Fighters Pass, then I want him in this because I really want him.
Okay.
I think it'd be awesome. Made a whole video on it. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. And yeah, I mean, obviously we have so much Doom stuff that
Yeah.
just
No, it makes
go
sense.
over the-
For sure. Alright. So, my next character is a third-party character, and this character is Leon S. Kennedy from Resident Evil 4. And he can do a whole slew of really cool things. He can cut you with a knife. He can do a suplex on you. He can take out this electric gun and shock the crap out of you. Then, Ada can come out of nowhere for his final smash, throws down a rocket launcher, a golden rocket launcher, and he shoots it at you, and you blow up in smithereens.
There
Yep.
you go.
And when this announcement happens, they'll finally announce Resident Evil 2 Remake for Nintendo Switch.
That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I want? This is when it gets tricky. This is when I'm just like, not actually sure. Who I like really want? There are a couple people I'd like to see. Like Rayman could be a good one. I'm just not sure if there's that many characters that I'm like, I have to have this character.
Right. My must-haves are Gino and Rex.
Right. So, I guess go with good old Rayman, because we need Ubisoft representation. Why is that not a thing yet?
I know, it's
and
weird.
I'd love to see a new game, too. We haven't had a new one since...
Right, and those games are great, the 2D ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really
We haven't
good.
had a new
They're
Rayman
beautiful.
since the last one on the Wii U and Xbox One, PS4.
Okay.
That one did get ported to the Switch like 2 years ago, but we haven't seen a new one in like, what, 5 years? Something like that.
Alright. I'm ready to blow you out the water.
Why?
Okay, it probably won't actually blow you out the water, but we're going to get another assist trophy promotion.
Okay.
This assist trophy promotion is Skull Kid from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. But not only will Skull Kid come, but it just doesn't make any sense. It's just like I was gonna say, but they will announce a 3D remake for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask as one collective experience. Like it's one whole game.
There you go.
Yeah. And he's
That'd be insane.
yeah, because yep, it would be insane. It's not gonna happen.
No.
No, not
Be great.
not next year. Not with Breath of the Wild 2.
Mhm.
But Skull Kid could still get promoted as an assist trophy. That's not out of the question, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, with Breath of the Wild 2 in the works, what if they did do like, they continued on with DLC characters as sort of like, oh, you know what?
Right.
I take it back. Scrapping Skull Kid. Akira from Astral Chain. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm putting in Akira. Yeah, we talked about Akira earlier. Astral Chain, the both of them. It's really cool. They're pretty awesome. They're not that similar, but like they'd be kind of like another tandem character, right? And they could do the chain grab and use the tether grab with the sword legion and change out legions, or just have different attacks with the legions. Like, there's different stuff they could do. Like maybe down B, you enter the sword legion, then you do ora ora ora, and have an actual JoJo reference in Smash Brothers, right?
Mhm.
Because Astral Chain is a JoJo reference. It
Yeah.
is. They're stands. You're fighting with stands. So
It's great. I would love to see Astral Chain characters in. That'd be awesome. That game's so good.
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
You can have Skull Kid.
Nah, I don't think Skull Kid. I would love to see a
Captain
Paper Mario
Rainbow.
character, but I don't want to see Paper Mario. I
Gino.
want to see somebody else from. No, that's not the same.
It's
Paper
not.
Mario.
Not.
I would love to see a Paper Mario character. I'm just not quite sure
Which one?
which one. But maybe they could have Paper Mario and he actually uses like some of his, the sidekicks and stuff, the side characters that you can.
And each one's like a different like move.
Right. From that's the only way I would want Paper Mario is if they incorporated the side characters into the battle moves.
Okay.
I would actually really like that because otherwise I just think Paper Mario is kind of a boring idea. There's not really much point.
Right. Yeah. I see that. That's kind of my issue with the Paper Mario character. It's just like, I just might as well just make him an alternate skin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you don't really have the hammer, right, with Mario. That would be nice to have the hammer, but
yeah.
Unless
Paper
they
Mario
the
done right, I think could be really cool because there's a lot of
yeah
interesting characters that they could pull moves from. Your partner characters would be great to see.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. So, let's check in with the chat. And obviously, if this has happened, you get a Paper Mario game with that too. Which will happen eventually anyway, so no worries about that one. Darcy, can we get a Zelda character that isn't Link? Well, besides Skull Kid getting promoted, maybe we could get Impa as an Echo, or other idea, right? Demise as an Echo for Ganondorf, right? Or maybe
cool.
This new Ganondorf from Breath of the Wild 2 could be added to Smash Bros. Ultimate, maybe either as an alternate skin, or just an Echo, or an entirely new character. Like, I don't know, that'd be pretty nice to see. Or maybe Breath of the Wild 2 could have an entirely new Zelda character that'll be epic, that everyone's gonna love. They could add to Smash. That'd be awesome. And obviously we wouldn't know who that is.
Right.
So I'm starting from like down up. I shouldn't be, but I am. NAK, how about Hooktail from Paper Mario, 1,000 Year Door? If Ridley can be shrunk down to fit in, so could she.
Ooh, Hooktail? It'd be cool. I don't necessarily think they're a big enough character.
Okay.
Not really who I would pick, but it could work.
Project Shinator suggesting Toon Zelda.
Yeah, Tetra would be amazing. And
Tetra? Oh yeah, no, Tetra, like, oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. The thing is, like, Zelda has, like, her side B or her down B that uses the Spirit Tracks sword thing, the knight.
Yeah.
So maybe one other thing they could do is just put, like, an alt skin of her as Toon Zelda, but the thing is that the size proportions are kind of off, so they would have to. It probably just it would make more sense to like do an Echo, if anything.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Mastermind added me. I would like Lloyd Irving, a Grand Blue character, Agnes, Ayumi Tachibana, and Bonk. Okay. NAK, you should be going. We gotta get ready for bed. Have a good night, man. Take care. Cake Man, the dream for me is Isaac, Shantae, Rayman, Sora, Travis Touchdown, Chrono, Gino, Rio Hayabusa, Klonoa, Leonis Kennedy, and Lloyd Irving. I picked 11 characters because of the dummy slot data mine, which is an interesting point. Maybe we could get that many characters. I don't know. Actually, Brandon, have you heard about that?
I don't know
So, I mean, this has kind of been information. I don't remember the specific numbers, but basically, there's a certain amount of slots in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, right? And now there's a certain amount of slots that are in the game that could be just like one slot for, like, for example, Hero took up 4 slots, right? Because of each of the different models. So a new model would use it. Like a color change wouldn't, but if it's a different model, it would. Like Bayonetta takes up 2 models because she has 2 different costumes, right? Or Cloud as well. So there was like 25 spots for that or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, so it could be like 30, 25, something like that. And then there was like 10 or 11 for potential slots in World of Light, and that number's gone down with each new character that's been added in Smash Brothers.
Right.
So, that World of Light spots would suggest actual characters they anticipate. But they could always just add more if they really wanted to, or they could just have that as extra. They don't have to get to that whole list. But let's just say there was actually that would have been a good idea to have 11. If there were 11 characters, which ones we could actually fit in there? Now that's a pretty good list, though. I mean, I think if I had 11, I'm just looking at Cake Man's list. I would want Isaac. I would want Shantae. I would want Rayman. I wouldn't personally want Sora, but I understand that would that'd be a lot of value there. I would want Travis Touchdown. Chrono would be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would pick him. Like Sora and Chrono are really cool characters. I'm just like when I think about like my personal tastes.
Yeah.
Right. Prediction
really
wise,
like
he's a crazy character. Like Gino for sure would be my in there. Leon would be in there. Lloyd Irving I would consider. Right. Obviously Rex and Pyra. I'll always fight to the death about that one. Skull Kid would be another one I'd like to see. I'm only like at 7. Dixie Kong. I want to see Dixie Kong. Doom Guy, actually, I want to see Doom Guy. I really do want to see that.
Yes.
I also would like to see Spyro. I'm just seeing NK's wish list now. Sora, Amaterasu, Doomslayer, Steve, Lara Croft, Neptune, Ori, Spyro, and Agumon. A lot of people bring up Agumon from Digimon. He's really gotten a lot of... a lot of people have been suggesting Agumon.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't be against it. I don't know how likely that is.
I would not care at all if that happened. I'd be like, whatever.
Well, Agumon's kind of like Charmander, so it's kind of cool to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Darcy's list. They're all Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's the best list. Darcy.
Byleth, Dimitri, Claude, Edelgard, and Lysithea.
The best, the ultimate team. It should be the Fire Emblem pass.
I don't want any of them.
Oh, I'd like
Edelgard.
I'd like Edelgard. Her axe is really cool. I don't think it's needed either, but I wouldn't necessarily mind Edelgard. Just because an axe user would be unique. Mastermind. Cassandra. Wait, what? How about Cassandra? She could sit on your face. Okay. I like Cassandra from Soul Calibur. I don't know if that's the same Cassandra you're referring to.
Isn't there a Cassandra in Mortal Kombat as well?
There may be. Project Johnny, my wish list is Waluigi, Shadow the Hedgehog. We know the Mario, so Paper Mario, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, and Birdo. Okay.
Of course, everybody wants me in for DLC.
Yeah, you're the number one. You're high up in the polls, man.
Also, apparently I look like Dust from Mother 3. I don't know who that is.
You should play Mother 3. You need it. Terry Stevenson, my wish list is Shantae, Gina, Rayman, Crash, Agumon, Lloyd Irving, a Soul Calibur rep. Maybe is he want? I forget. I know who you're referring to. Is he want? I just don't know how to say it. Is it Xinghua or Xinghua or someone else? I'd like to see Siegfried and Nightmare. Just all skins of each other. Oh, and maybe a Tekken character. Oh, I'd want a Soul Calibur rep. Yeah, that's another one I'd want him there.
Gotta get Link from Soul Calibur.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the Soul character. Soul Calibur.
So, yeah, I feel like we're pretty much near the end of the discussion, guys. Yeah. There's a lot of characters we'd like to see. But just kind of like bringing it back down to earth a little bit. I think my personal expectation for the DLC, and we're gonna talk about DLC like every week for like probably 3 more years, but is that I think there's still gonna be a lot of third-party characters coming. I personally don't believe that it's gonna be all third-party. I just find that hard to believe. I really do. And I think we'll at least get 4 or 5 more characters. It could be more. So, we'll see. Rex and Pyra and Gino are confirmed. In my heart. Yeah. Only in my heart. So, yeah. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to talk about, Brandon, before we call it a night?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I see Alexander Christopher Hernandez. He added me. So he's saying Digimon actually started in electronic toys similar to Tamagotchis, and then video games and cards similar to Game & Watch and Pokemon respectively, but older. Okay. See, I guess, yeah, I'm just not too familiar with how it exactly started. So electronic toys similar to Tamagotchis, I guess you could look at that as a video game.
Right.
Right, and I mean, it's also kind of like Game & Watch, right? So like you said, I could maybe see... That would be kind of nuts. It would be kind of nuts. Because I guess for me, like, Digimon, my personal perception of it, which is wrong, but my perception of it has been like, oh, this is kind of like, you know, another Pokemon in terms of like, they all have the animes and they have their games, right? But I guess the origin is what's really important, right? So if Digimon starts off as kind of like a video game toy, then maybe they could make it. They're definitely more, a Digimon rep is definitely more likely than Goku, I would say. So I agree that much.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so there you go. Yeah, okay. Digimon's a video game franchise. Agumon is something that a lot of people would like to see. And again, I'd be for it. I think Agumon's cool. I'm not saying I don't like Digimon, right? I would. Imagine like Charizard versus Agumon. That'd be nice to see, especially if Agumon can Digivolve. Yo. Oh, yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be super cool to see. Yeah, man. Oh. Like, what if Agumon could, like, Digivolve throughout the fight? Like, he was, like, Pokemon trainer, but he Digivolves.
The amount I know about Digimon is about basically nothing.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. We'll see you throughout the week, right? We got stuff coming. So make sure to check out Brandon's channel, What About Nintendo? The link to his channel is in the description below. Leave a like so I don't cry myself to sleep. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye, guys.